Hello and welcome to Madoka Magicast, the podcast dedicated to the dark magical girl anime, Puella Magi, Madoka Magica, and all its various iterations. I'm not your host, Amanda. I am Panda, and I'm here with our host, Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hello.
And we are also here with some guests. And by guests, I mean de facto fourth co-host of the podcast, essentially, Erin. Hi, Erin.
Hello. Hello, friends.
Our new friend, Sammy. Hi, Sammy.
Greetings.
What are we here to talk about, Amanda? We normally talk about Madoka in general, and by we, I mean you, because I'm not normally on the show.
Well, first of all, we're here to talk about how you delivered an incredible opening just now.
Thank you. I have 4 years of practice.
I could not deliver it off the top of my head. And you clamored in that you remembered it off the top of your head. So I was like, okay, go for it. And then you just did it. You just did it.
I hear it
Panda
so
has
many
ascended.
times.
Yes, you have ascended.
My Discord avatar is a picture of, like, Gothica Isabelle from Animal Crossing, and that's really, that captures the energy for right now.
She's got, like, a third eye.
It's from a comic. I'll have to send it to you. It's really good. But hello, everyone. Amanda, what are we here to talk about today?
Yes, hello, everybody. We are doing a little interruption in our normal programming for y'all. We are finally going to talk about the concept movie trailer. This has been a widely requested episode.
And with good reason, I think.
With good reason. We're going to get into more details on what it exactly is, but it is basically, in short, a teaser trailer for a proposed idea for a sequel to the Rebellion movie.
Is it a sequel? I mean,
that sure seems like it, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're going to get to it.
Okay.
And it is, as we will also get to this, it is old. It's 5 years old. It's actually almost exactly 5 years old. And we were going to do this episode with Yasha and Vanna, but they are on a little bit of a hiatus from the podcast.
They've taken personal leave.
Yes, they have taken personal leave. They had some sad pet death issues, so they're on a little bit of a leave to let them sort that out. So we did not want to have too much of a Darth, yeah.
Dearth?
Dearth? Is it Dearth or Darth?
Darth Vader.
I think it's Dearth. Darth is from Star Wars.
Darth is from Star Wars, you're right. Okay, Dearth. We did not want to have a Dearth in episodes for everybody, so we said, well, why don't we just do this episode, but just have Panda and invite Erin back and then have a guest on, and then there's, then we have 4 people and we can just do it that way. So,
which is great, because I very much wanted to talk about this, but I did not want to force myself onto the podcast for another episode.
I know you just look for opportunities to get on.
I really like this thing that we're talking about, actually.
And I was very curious about it.
Yeah. Before we do that, we do have a guest on today's episode, and we do always like to devote a little bit of time to getting to know our guest before we get into the topic of discussion. So, hello, Sammy.
Hello.
This is where I put you on the spot a little bit and ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself. We put out a call to listeners asking, we would like some help, or we need a guest for a concept movie episode when we do it. Would anyone like to volunteer to be on the show? And I believe that you were one of the first person, if not one of the first people, to send us an email about it way back, like probably like a year ago. Like way back, right? If I'm remembering it correctly.
I remember, it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I just kind of I enjoyed listening to Panda's podcast, Imagine Me YouTuber, and it kind of transferred here, where I just found your podcast. Coincidentally, it has like the same people involved,
right?
And I listened to it for a while, and you guys kind of started talking about the stuff I'm the most excited about, the sort of future of this franchise. And at first I was like, can I really come up as a guest onto the show? In the end, I just decided...
The answer is yes.
Yeah, well, the answer is this. I was kind of embarrassed, but I was like, YOLO, let's do it. Let's shoot an email to these guys.
Well, I'm glad that you did. So, like... Yeah. Can you tell us about your Madoka fandom? Like, when did you first watch it, and what were the circumstances? Like, how old were you? Like, tell us a little bit about that.
All right. So I was introduced to Madoka Magica through a Watch Mojo compilation.
Okay, I like the start of the story already.
I love it.
I don't mean that in a mean way. I actually do kind of love Watch Mojo. I'm more laughing at myself.
It is great. Basically, I kind of I spent most of my time just screwing around on YouTube. Essentially, I kind of fell down the rabbit hole of just looking at magical girls and finding out what that is all about. I know I've been into anime for a while, like since I was a very little kid, but I just saw this, and it had this sort of aesthetic and appeal that kind of just drew me in. It got me really interested, like, what the heck is all this? Why is it all so girly and awesome at the same time? I'm kind of digging this. Then I came across this Watch Mojo video with, kind of listing off the top 10 magical girl animes of all time, and it listed Madoka as like a 8 or a 6 or something, and it talked about how it's a dark twist on the genre, and what eventually like got me to watch it was the shot of Madoka, kind of the Sakuga shot of her aiming at the sky with her bow and shooting it out. I was like, oh, that's awesome! What the heck is this? Good. Right?
That is amazing. Yeah.
I watched it through reaction videos on YouTube.
Oh, that is valid, honestly.
White, reversed.
It's the equivalent of like the people who watched anime in like 420p on YouTube in 3 parts back in the 2000s.
Yes.
I watched
then that was also valid.
It was, but I don't know if it was the fact that another person was watching it with me, but that really got me to like look out for fandom and stuff, because I wanted to talk to somebody about this. Like, do you see this? What the heck is this? Why is this so cool and well written? And why am I digging this? Right? And I guess it sort of just led me to Madoka fandom. I'm really bad at just like communicating with people on the internet.
Oh no,
so.
It's okay.
I don't consider that a bad thing.
No.
Communicating with people on the internet can be a mistake.
Yeah.
It's the internet, not you, that's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been ghosting over the waters of the internet. That's kind of how I view myself. But eventually I show up and, I get a craving for Madoka, and somehow it just finds your podcast on SoundCloud floating around somewhere, and oh my gosh, these people kind of get it, and they have good things to say, because you know what, once you think about it, the Madoka fandom is kind of like, it's a big one. You can't always find your people.
Yes.
Hard agree.
Not all of it is the people you want to find, either.
Yeah, exactly. There's not a lot of good discussion that I'd want to do, right? That's the main reason I just float around and don't engage much.
I feel like that just has to do with, like, they're not, like the fandom spaces are a little bit fragmented ever since Tumblr kind of stopped being a thing.
100%.
Yeah. Because the only other, like, centralized places to really talk about fandom now are, like, Reddit, which is a certain group of people. And it's, I am making a generalization here, and I go to Reddit for certain things myself, but anime discussion on Reddit is a certain group of people,
It's true.
I mean, it's just true. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just the truth.
We live in a society.
Just like how anime discussion on Tumblr was a certain group of people.
Yes.
Yeah. But since everybody kind of left Tumblr, we've all moved to Twitter. But Twitter isn't really like a it's just scattered accounts. There's no like central anime hub for Twitter. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
There's no there's no like tagging system like Tumblr had.
That is actually so fascinating. Like the history of how stuff works like this.
Yeah, like, and before Tumblr, there was LiveJournal.
Oh, LiveJournal.
Yeah, and like, I mean, the closest thing I can think of that might be replacing it is like maybe Amino, but that's like a very like Gen Z. That's like not where
yeah,
people like us would
Amino
go.
feels out of my grasp.
Yeah.
I feel like, that one picture of Will Smith in the sunflower costume when
Yes.
I look at Amino.
Me too. And I know there's a lot of fandom on there, so sometimes I'm like, maybe like I don't know, should I go on Amino? But I really do feel like Will Smith in the sunflower costume. It like even just thinking about that. But that's like I feel like that's where like the 12-year-olds of today are going to do their chat RP that I was doing when I was 12.
They're certainly doing it somewhere, and good on them.
Yeah, exactly. Good on them. They need their watch pad. Like let them have Amino. But like it's not a place for me to go to talk about Madoka.
Yeah, no.
I can support them, but I do not understand them.
Yeah.
And I think that that's okay.
Right.
We're adults. We've graduated to the hellscape of Twitter.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean,
Yep.
Sammy. It can be really difficult to like, it's hard to make friends when you're an adult. Like this is the thing that happens once you become an adult. It's hard to go out and meet people.
And
the
so the
internet
way
is
that you make
apparently the
friends is
same
to
way.
make a podcast.
Apparently.
Yes.
Yeah. So hold on. What are our standard questions that we always got to ask our guests? Who is your favorite magical girl on the show?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's Mommy.
Okay.
Yes!
Hey, we stand.
Finally! Someone else!
So the reason I like Mommy is because I think she's the most underexplored character in the show. Besides Bebe, but Bebe seems more like an accessory to Mommy's character. So Mommy kind of just ties it into my excitement for like a potential third movie or just any more Madoka content, because I always related to her the most as a person. And she has both of a creepiness factor that kind of makes Homura interesting to people a lot of the time. Like she's multifaceted.
Yes.
And she's flawed as a person. And like, yeah, I guess that's why I like her. I used to like Sayaka, then I grew out of her.
I have to ask if you have read the different story manga or if you've been listening.
I have
to
been
those
listening.
episodes. Okay.
I'm considering reading it. The reason I don't want to read it is because, like, basically I want to work as an illustrator, and it's been my lifelong dream, and that's what I do all day, every day. But I don't like looking at art because I want it to be my job, and the more you work on art, it kind of stops being something you want to look at or get gifts of. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I can understand that.
It's like getting a wrench for your birthday if you're a construction worker.
Well, like I've mentioned before, I'm an attorney, so all day long I sit at a computer and read. So the last thing I want for like a present is like a physical book. Because I the last thing I want to do with my free time is sit and read a physical book. Like if it's a book on tape, so I can like go for a walk and listen to the book, that's
Oh, I love an audiobook.
Yeah, that's different because then I can go for a walk.
I love listening to you guys actually discuss it because I feel like I get the gist of it. I still want to know what's up with it.
Right.
I would probably read Wraith Arc thing because I don't know, it kind of fills in some blanks.
I would, if you can get it from like a library or something, or if you can like borrow it from somebody, I would absolutely recommend. If you are a Mommy fan, I would absolutely recommend Different Story 100% because Different Story is where you're going to get like a really good in-depth look at Mommy. Like, she is an underexplored character in the anime and the Rebellion movie, but she is very thoroughly explored in the Different Story manga, And we do get into it like in the podcast, but being able to read it yourself and go through the dialogue in each panel by panel, I think is a whole different experience
rules
on its own.
The art is pretty good. It's better than
Yes.
the average manga. I like it. It's neat. Yeah, I might want to read it. It's kind of interesting because I don't care about canonicity much because I make stuff myself all the time, and like it doesn't matter to a creator. They just put stuff out there. But it's kind of interesting to have like another person write Mommy besides Gen. Like,
Yeah.
but it's not. It wouldn't be the first thing I'd fly to. If they had a third movie available, or like the sequel to Rebellion available right now, I'd probably look at that first.
Right.
Yeah, and based on if this thing we're about to talk about would be that thing, you probably would have a lot to satisfy you on that front, I would think, based on what you've seen in it.
Yeah, so why don't we get into that? That's a good segue. Thank you, Aaron.
So this is officially called Puella Magi Madoka Magica concept movie, even though it is like a 4-minute proof of concept trailer.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't
Maybe they're,
realize
like,
that was
short.
the title, because it basically is, that's what it is. Like, is the name of the movie Concept?
It
Yeah.
says concept movie at the end of the trailer, so that's really all that we can glean as far as the title goes.
I know a
Yeah.
person who worked on it described it as an extravagant image board.
That's definitely what it is.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
It's like a mood board.
yeah.
So, Sammy, you mentioned that you did some research into the event that this was shown at. Do you want to
Oh,
maybe
heck
tell
yeah.
us a little bit about that?
Why don't you give us the rundown on what this thing is? And yeah.
This was shown at the 40th anniversary of Shaft in 2015, and it was called Monogatari,
Yes.
which is a portmanteau of Madoka and Monogatari, two of Shaft's big properties.
Yes, and they're actually like one of my favorite, at the top list of my favorite animes. Both have their caveats and stuff, but I can't help but love Shaft because it's just so different from everyone else. That's all that really matters. You just gotta get weird sometimes.
That's right.
So basically, yeah, you were right. It happened in 2015, and it actually lasted until 2016, or maybe came back, I guess. It happened 3 times, in 3 different locations. Once in Tokyo, then it happened in Osaka, and then in Sapporo. The actual concept movie was shown at, oh man, I can't even read the stuff I wrote myself.
It looks like the Tokyo event, right?
Yeah, you're right. Aaron's right. It's at the Tokyo event, and then an updated version was screened at the Osaka event. I have still not seen the older version. It probably might have been the actual, not the Gekidan Inukuri stuff, the actual animated stuff in the trailer was probably, storyboarded and it didn't have the colors, is what I think the old version was. So, but yeah, these events, I'm just gonna send you a poster. I think they're pretty cool. I don't know.
By the way, perfect. But I was
Ah.
going to say, anything that you want to show us or anybody else for the purpose of the episode, put it in the group chat, because then I can find it later when I'm doing the video.
Yeah, and I'd want you guys to see it too. So, we
That
got
is a cool poster.
We talked about this in the pre-show, but Sammy has a lot of images to share with us, and I'm
Yes.
very excited about that.
Oh, goodness, there's some properties in this poster I would have liked to forget about.
I mean, yes. There's a mouse thing. I haven't watched any of these besides the main 2. Which, by the way, what a cute illustration! That is actually so wholesome.
I do like this poster that we're looking at has both Madoka and what's her name, Senjo
Senjogahara,
from Monogatari.
Which is basically Shaft's twist on harems, I guess.
But in the background, there's a bunch of other different, I guess, Shaft properties, including, the ones I recognize are Negima, Paniponi Dash, and whatever the one with the vampire cat girl was that was terrible.
I have I don't know.
Vampire cat girl, you have my attention.
No, it really shouldn't.
No.
I also see Mikaku City
Or is that Kino no
actors.
Tabi in there as well?
Oh, Kino's Journey as well. There's another
Yeah.
one with Homura, I think, and Shinobu, I guess. It's also a very cute poster.
Aww.
Yeah.
Aww.
I like when Homura smiles.
We love to see it.
Tsukuyomi Moonface, that's the one with the vampire cat girl.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so there's a few more posters, but I think these are the standout ones. But yeah, the event had a lot of stuff. I haven't gotten all of it. I mean, I haven't seen all of it because there's just so much. There's been there's a Christmas card with an illustration on it of like Homura and Shinobu just being inside of a globe. It's pretty cute as well.
Oh, that's cute.
That is cute.
This is really cute.
It's also kind of dark since the two of them kind of have a thing with suicide. I don't think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sad.
And they're just in a globe full of donuts.
This is what I wish for them, to be in a globe full of donuts.
Like, you mean like trapped?
That's what I wish for myself.
Exactly.
Trapped in a fantasy world
Of donuts.
Yes. Here's like I think more. That's right. I saved this one because it's got some illustrations by people whose names I can't read because they're in kanji, and also I think that's an Inukuri or Hajime Ueda. You know those guys, right?
Amanda, can you read anything in this?
Matsu.
It's okay if the answer is no.
Matsuraiki. I cannot read.
It is Matsuraiki. You're right.
Yeah, I cannot read the kanji signature in the top middle one because I can't read kanji names.
It seems like the
It
character
looks like
designer.
Matsumoto. Something Moto.
Yeah, I think it's the original character designer because like I can tell from the way it's drawn, like it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the bottom looks legit like one of the two people in Inukuri to me, potentially.
Yeah, it is definitely one.
That just looks very Inukuri. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
We love to see Bebe.
Baby.
I do love to see Bebe. I have a plush of Bebe.
Really?
She's very cute.
Bebe better get like a story in the new movie. I'm quitting. Here's a map of the event, which I don't know. I think it's interesting. It's got Kyubey watching over you.
Aw, man. I wish I could have gone to this.
Me too! Oh my god!
too.
I probably didn't even know this existed.
I didn't know. I would not have heard about this until way later.
Ooh, coming back to the actual trailer, I don't know
Yeah.
who made this one, but this is like a print of Ballerina Madoka, I believe.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, and it's got a bunch of other junk. I don't know if it's from the events, like plush toys of the Nightmares from Rebellion. It's amazing. Also, a lot of cursed stuff, like
Oh, I'm sure.
like this
Let's
Now,
mug.
we all know
Let's
about
see
that,
the
don't we,
cursed
Panda?
stuff. Let's see the cursed stuff.
Give us the curse.
Come on, T.
Come on, T.
I would love to own this mug.
I would love that mug.
Here's a keyframe of good old Sayaka.
Shaft, head, tilt.
Breaking her neck.
Love to see it.
If you flip it upside down, it looks really weird. And finally, the most cursed image of them all, the crossover image. I'm just gonna let it speak for itself.
Oh.
It is.
Ah.
It is not good.
Well,
I liked the other Homura and Shinobu picture better.
too.
that's what I was thinking.
I actually think this is Madoka, and Homer is in the background with the character from Monogatari Koyomi, and they're both like, "Huh? What? What are they
yeah,
doing? Are
that's
they?"
Madoka.
Wait, is it?
That is Madoka.
It is.
Because it looks
Right,
like
I can see
hate
the
this.
pigtails.
It is-
hate
I
it.
hate this.
I hate
It's
it.
sick and
I
twisted.
hate it.
I hate this.
Look, there's little Kyubey on the right side.
Oh, no.
Way in the distance.
I do love Lil Cube.
He's just watching this. How could he allow this to happen? I mean, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
If people are curious about the images we're talking about, by the way, you might want to take a peek at the video version of this episode.
Yeah, I'm sure Amanda will include these in the video.
They're
have
beautiful.
to?
I'll frame them on my wall.
Oh god, so what is the concept movie?
What is the concept movie?
That's a real good question. Amanda, you watched it very recently. Why don't you tell us?
So I've been
Mhm.
so busy lately that I actually didn't even watch it until about 5 minutes before we got on Discord to start recording.
4 minutes exactly.
4 minutes. And so I literally watched it about, as of right now, since we've been recording for a while, I watched it about an hour ago, and it sure is a Pinterest board for what Shaft wants to do for another Madoka movie.
What a sick bird.
It's an inspo. It's a visualocity for another Madoka movie. I don't know. What is this thing? I honestly have no idea. It is a 4-minute trailer, a 3-minute 49-second trailer for a concept for something Madoka related that appears to be a sequel to Rebellion.
I think it's most definitely a sequel.
Yeah. Based on the dialogue that is spoken over the course of the images that are in the trailer, seems to imply that it takes place after Rebellion. And a lot of stuff happens in it, and we don't really get a whole lot of information, but it's enough for us to know, for the most part, that it's probably a sequel to Rebellion.
We also don't have much information on who wrote it, and I still don't know to this day.
Because it was only shown at this event, and it wasn't really supposed to be available to the public. It's not been made available to the public other than, like, people putting it on YouTube.
Yeah, and how did we get that copy? Like, who got that footage in that high quality?
Maybe there is a Blu-ray. I think I've seen something like maybe.
As far as I have not done an extensive amount of research on this, but as far as I can tell, this was just something that was meant to be shown at the event and then got leaked somehow, but we don't know the details of that.
I would wonder if it has to be somebody who worked on it, because, like, if it was not shown anywhere else or released on home video.
It was probably somebody who worked at the event at minimum.
Well, this version on YouTube that we are watching is like a screen recording of the video player playing.
Yeah, well, the version
file.
they're recording is a version that was on Facebook. And I did see the version on Facebook as well, and that is not a screen recording. That is just, like, the thing.
High quality thing with, like, I don't know if they're official subs, they're color-coded? Is that an official thing for Madoka?
No, color coding is usually done for fan subs.
So, yeah, I mean, that's the best I can do to describe this thing. We can go, like, why don't we go step by step through this a little bit?
Yeah, it might help to go through image by image.
Parse out what is going on here. It opens up with a good old look at Kyubey. Some glowing orbs and a good old Kyubey stare.
We love to look into his evil eyes.
Beautiful, beautiful eyes.
I like your note here implies that it's possible that the moon, the glowing out of focused orbs, that might be a point of view shot. So that might be Kyubey looking at that.
Yeah, because
that's
the transition is a blink. It's a literal blink. Like, I think that's the intended effect.
Right.
Or it could be us just blinking and then seeing Kyubey 2 millimeters from our eyeballs.
Right.
Yeah, although something else that I get from it is I see a very distinct, like, film-like flicker to it, like it's a lens almost, and there's a vignette around Kyubey as well.
Yeah, that makes more sense, because Kyubey doesn't blink, I think.
You're right, Kyubey doesn't blink.
Okay, that's a clue. As for the light or the weird orb, I think that's either an out-of-focus moon or like a light in the distance that's been turned into, I don't know what it's called technically speaking, but it's like a lens light flare thing in the distance, out of focus.
Lens flare?
Mm-hmm. Or an iris or something, I think.
Yes, like an iris.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, we stare into Kyubey's loving, calming gaze for 12 seconds, and then we get a 3D statue head of Mommy.
Mommy's...
I gotta tell you, this was maybe, like, an emotional high point for me, this idea of a Mommy statue coming into play in this somehow, because Mommy is also my favorite character.
And specifically what appears to be just the head, which is very appropriate.
The head of a giant Mommy statue, but this is not the Ume Aoki character design of Mommy.
Yeah.
This is like a Greek statue face.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Mommy's
This
hair.
is like human proportion Mommy.
Yes.
And it smashes through like a skybox.
Yeah.
Like a video game.
It is very 3D skybox pieces.
Like the sky shatters, and behind that is just black, and then it smashes down, and
it's almost like a vaporwave cover.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
And then it zooms out, and we see this giant statue head is enormous, and it's crashing down into Mitakihara like a asteroid.
Mhm.
And still no talking, and there's just like creepy soft music box music in the background.
Yeah, it's Yuki
Mhm.
Kajira coming back to take up the mantle of, herself. What am I saying? It's a pretty good song. It's got a motif going on. It sounds vaguely Arabic, which could that be because Sayaka? Well, we'll see that later. But
I don't know if I would call it Arabic so much as it might be Arabic, might be accurate. I think it's kind of more just reminiscent of the soundtrack of the original anime, how it kind of had that like lots of winds and like a mystical kind of sound to it.
Mhm.
Like lots of flutes and do you know what I mean by that? Like,
I'm gonna look into it actually because I
Yeah.
do music as a hobby. This might be
okay,
like a cultural thing. Like it's in a different
it's a
mode of music, like in a different key.
Yeah. yeah.
That's unique to some places. I'll look that up later. But anyways,
Yeah, if you know anything about music, you would know better than I do, because I don't know anything about music.
it is pretty good.
Yeah.
Aaron, can you tell us what happens next?
Yes, so all of this footage of the statue mommy head falling to Mitakihara is intercut with shots of a ballerina foot, like dancing on point, spinning around. We don't see whose foot it is initially, but we then see in a wider shot that it is in fact Madoka dancing in a ballerina outfit, and this is where the first dialogue in the trailer starts to come in, and we hear the voices of Homura and Madoka speaking to each other, wondering about what happiness is.
Boy, oh boy, I wonder what happiness is.
That's the lighthearted question, yes.
And of course they come to the conclusion that it's fried eggs for breakfast.
Which is a very clear reference to their teacher's rant about eggs.
Oh yeah, isn't that?
Oh yeah, well I was thinking
Yeah.
too about like just
absolutely.
breakfast with her parents.
Yeah.
I also immediately went to the dialogue with the teacher because she's so particular.
You're right though.
Well, yeah, and because, like, you know, Homura heard her rant about that how many hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know she's in the Devil Homura barrier with everybody else.
And, you know, the show goes out of its way for, in my opinion, early on with that teacher ranting about that, and she's talking about her relationship with her boyfriend she just broke up with. So it is like a comment on romance and getting along with your partner in happiness. So that's immediately what my brain went to too.
It does fit.
You know?
This theory fits because it's Homura that implies that it's fried eggs for breakfast. Or no, she kind of offers it. Like
I think it's Madoka that says that one specifically.
Really? Oh shoot,
Yeah.
My bad. But they go back and forth.
I can check the transcript.
They go back and forth and like offer, answers to the question of what true happiness is.
Mm-hmm.
Madoka says fried eggs for breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah,
what else do they
but the
say?
point is they say a couple of things that are relatively mundane, but they end that section by saying that none of those things exist in heaven.
Ah, yes. Some Christian imagery in my motto.
Mm-hmm.
So the implication being that you can't actually be happy in heaven.
You can't be happy as a god. As God Yukai.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it definitely is talking about. Yeah, and then we have, I believe, like I call them subliminal shots because they're just so goddamn quick. But it's a shaft. It's a shaftism.
Yeah.
They show some like illustrations by Gekidon and Ikuri. I don't know which half of the little squad did these, but they're pretty good. I like them. We got Homura creeping on Madoka, or just sitting behind a curtain watching her do some ballet, as in the scene, and then Madoka staring into a well, I think.
With 1/3 of a moon behind her, but it's like
Yeah, which is interesting because in Rebellion it was half a moon.
Oh yeah,
but it's like if you cut a pizza into a third, like or a clock.
Yeah, like it's a clock running out, which I think might be intentional.
Yeah, it's not like the phases of the moon. It's like one hand at 12 o'clock and one hand at 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
some clouds too.
Yeah,
and Madoka's wearing like a different dress. They get a lot of new outfits in this.
Yes, they do.
I'm very excited because they're not traditionally magical girl. I think somebody admitted on the team like, yeah, we're pulling away from what people think magical girls are supposed to wear, which is like so many. I don't know if this is a thing, but are they referencing Princess Tutu? I mean,
I don't think so. I think this is the wiki, at least. I'm hoping the people on the wiki are right about this, because I read up on it, and if it's not right, then I blame them. That the ballet stuff in this concept trailer is supposedly based on a very famous ballet dance, which interestingly itself is about 4 minutes long, called The Dying Swan, which is from 1905, and it's a very famous piece about just a single ballerina in a white swan-like tutu dancing the dance of a swan in the last few minutes of its life.
That's a bummer.
Which is kind of what I think the moon is supposed to signify there, that the longer Homura keeps Madoka in this barrier, the she's running out of time. She's going to die if she stays like this.
At the end of Rebellion, she did say we'll eventually have to fight or something. Like, this isn't going to be forever. We'll have to sort this out later, but for now, let's hang out and...
It also calls to mind kind of like bird in a cage imagery, like in those subliminal images. Both of them feel like Madoka is separated from Homura, like by a barrier or by a different plane or something like that.
Oh, wait, I see. There are windows floating behind the curtain with Homura, and they're separated by the curtain from Madoka, so like...
Yeah.
She got split.
Panda, you know what's gonna have to get inserted there, right?
The return.
There's a lot of windows in here.
Yes.
Because motto means window.
Of course.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We get, like, the Shaft logo, and before that, I think that's, like, the script for this thing.
Yeah, it looks like notes or a script or storyboard or something.
Instead of saying, yeah, we're working on this. Just wait another...
But it's way too blurry to read.
Sadly. Then they repeat their philosophical talk, and Madoka's doing some thingies. I don't know what they're called.
She's still dancing,
Yeah, ballet thingies. And they talk about what happiness is. Is it calling somebody's name? Is it having somebody else call your name?
Yeah, and I find it interesting that Homura's response is to have someone else call your name, and Madoka's response is to actually call someone's name.
To be
where
the
one is a taking and
name.
one is a giving kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Madoka also can't call out because she's not a person anymore.
And Homura says it's when someone else is thinking of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So Homura wants the other person to be giving something to her.
Or maybe it references forgetting another person. Because you can't think of somebody if you don't remember them.
Oh.
Ooh.
And nobody can think of Madoka when nobody knows she exists except her.
Right. This could be Homura being like, man, Madoka's life is so sad.
And she's not satisfied with being the only one who can think about Madoka.
Right.
That's why I gotta read Rayfard.
And then Madoka and Homura together are saying, like, God can't have those things. So to Homura is saying God can't have their name called by someone else or have someone else think of them.
Yeah, not in the same way that they're talking about anyway.
Yeah, so Homura is, again, like we were saying, like, Madoka, nobody remembered Madoka, so she didn't have anybody to think of her or who knew her. But then Madoka saying it's calling someone else's name, that makes me pause. I'm wondering if that is Madoka's perspective. Would that be her perspective in this theoretical movie?
It could be them just, like, interacting as characters, because it feels like Homura's got her, like, hands just wrapped around Madoka and just doesn't want to let go.
Yeah, it almost feels like Madoka's being puppeted almost. Like, it doesn't explicitly show or imply that, but, like, the way she's dancing, maybe it is because I've watched Princess Tutu and it's very reminiscent of those scenes in Princess Tutu, but it kind of feels like Madoka is being almost controlled a little bit.
Oh, also, interesting thing before we move on to the more subliminal stuff, I think on the outfit, the ballerina's outfit, we have Madoka's soul gem somewhere around her chest. Is she transformed? Is this like a transformation thing?
It's kind of hard to say because later on in this trailer, we're going to see her in yet another costume. Yeah,
it's like the lines are blurring between being a normal person wearing cute outfits and being a magical girl.
Yeah, maybe.
We also have a Cubey shot again with the same sound cue. It's like a tiny little triangle thing. I think it implies that he's watching everything. Like, he's watching this trailer with us.
Is there a point anywhere in the trailer where we see Cubey other than their eyes?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because it could be like a Cube is watching thing, but it could also be a Cube is trapped thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak at all, just like in, Rebellion, so something's wrong.
Yeah, he has like one line in this trailer, and it's like, "This sucks. Why are you doing this?"
Oh yeah, this doesn't have any merit. I do think he threatens Hitomi as well, so maybe I'm wrong. He does speak.
Mm.
Next, we get a bunch of more illustrations that I think are really cool. They've got wraiths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Concept design, I guess.
I'm into the wraiths.
You know that sock kind of thing from Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yes.
Like the guy that looks like a bag? Yeah, kind of reminds me of that.
Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie?
Yeah! They're stitched together kind of like puppets? I don't know. Maybe. They've certainly got ribs. But anyways, yeah, we have also, the most important part is our girl Mommy, and she's posing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm asking you, Panda, because you're our resident mommy expert. Did Mommy just kill something, and is she standing on its head? Because I can't tell.
She has a certain energy about her that feels sort of, maybe triumphant is the word that I want to go for, but I don't necessarily, maybe that's not the right word.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
she has like a power and energy to the way that she is positioned in this concept trailer.
It's like a calm
specifically.
confidence.
Yes,
You know
exactly.
what? I think this kind of shot, like the composition, implies that she's about to look over her shoulder, and like she was confident that she defeated this thing, right? And she's looking over her shoulder, and there's something behind her, and if you squint, where she like split open the body of the wraith, you see like a little eye and hair coming out, blonde hair? I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, that's interesting.
As for the
question marks.
As for the environment, I can't tell if it's cranes or crosses in a graveyard, but you know what? We'll just see.
It looks like Evangelion world, if I'm being honest.
It looks like crosses, maybe like stylized telephone poles, maybe.
Maybe. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards cranes. If you zoom in, it kind of looks like they all have one part is facing outward. But whatever. It's it's a cityscape, I think. We've got pew pew pew. I think those are the sound effects of the wraiths shooting lasers out of their fingers in the training, which is religious stuff in Madoka.
People already make comparisons between Eva and Madoka. Might as well lean into it.
Yeah, I know. Okay, has anybody seen some weird like scanlation of a book where it had Sayaka and Bebe explain wraiths? Like, drop lore.
I have not seen that.
No.
Is that not anything from the Wraith manga? Is this different from the Wraith manga?
I think it might have been. I think it might be.
Okay.
Because it seemed official. Too bad I don't have it, but like, they talk about how different wraiths have different geometry, and it indicates whether or not a wraith is like powerful enough. But whatever, that's like lore, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've got weird geometry behind it. Then we've got like it just like hanging around looking at you, and a book, and a lizard. What is that?
Well, the lizard is a throwback to Homura.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
because it's the salamander is a symbol for her, but also it's the earring that she has when she's a demon. That like her soul gem, instead of transforming into a ring, it transforms into that like full earring that looks like a lizard. Do you remember that from the Rebellion movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a little star as well. And then the book, I think the book has an emblem of the Law of Cycles on it. Can't read the kanji up top there, but I don't know. Hopefully somebody might translate it later.
I do not know that kanji either.
Mm-hmm. And then
I'm not good at kanji.
We have, I believe, Homura being like, a lizard girl could not help but take pity on the goddess. Obviously talking about herself.
This is a weird... So we're going like... By the way, we're 1 minute and 30 seconds into this. Right?
Yeah, these images are flashing by real quick.
Rapid fire, like sketches and shots and little bits of animation. Like, it's all going very fast. One of these little quick shots is what looks like Madoka in her ballerina costume standing at the bottom of a huge double staircase, and there's like some kind of chandelier above her.
The chandelier... It's got a symbol of the Law of Cycles on it. The star, if you compare them.
Yeah, it's got like the star kind of thing. The two staircases have statues that are melting.
Maybe
Perhaps.
Yeah.
they're ice.
Or they're made of ice, maybe? Yeah. They're statues of swans, it looks like, with swords piercing through their chests and coming out the back. They don't appear to have tails. They kind of just have, they kind of meld down into the posts that they're standing on, that then stand on the railing for the staircase.
Well, first of all, Utena reference. Second of all, I think it's actually a reference to Sayaka piercing her chest with a sword.
Oh, definitely possible.
Ooh,
yeah.
Oh.
Or it could be just like, being cool for the sake of being cool. Who knows?
Or
Also,
this could be another ballet reference classical
this may
music
be what
reference.
clinched what the dying swan thing for the people who wrote the wiki, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what does it... Do you know what it might connect to?
Maybe just reinforcing the metaphor, maybe.
Maybe? Is there no swords involved in the dying swan?
No, it's basically just like a swan that's in pain and like reaching the end of its life and trying to fly but not quite getting there and just continually falling back to earth before finally collapsing.
Interesting.
The sword itself might be the imagery of like the pain and the about to die.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
Also, is it just me, or is there a second person with Madoka there
Okay,
behind
in my
her?
headcanon, that's Homura, and there's just standing
That's what
there
I
making
thought.
out.
It does look like she might have, there's like a silhouette next to her, potentially.
Yeah.
Or
Which
in
might
front
be
of
another
her.
like separation between her and Homura, maybe. If this is like
Yeah.
a giant mirror, maybe that they're in front of, or a window again.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to say. It's like it's kind of like a crude,
Sketchy.
like concept art kind of sketch, or like a storyboard.
It's almost like it's a concept trailer.
What? We still have the same line of the lizard girl metaphor, which is like so on the nose. Is that what you
Yes.
meant?
Mhm.
With this trailer being on the nose, Amanda? You mentioned that.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
You did say it's what you expected.
Yeah, well, I'll once we get to the end, I'll explain like what I
Alright.
meant by that. Yeah, but Homer and Madoka are explaining that a lizard girl took pity. Well, this is how the wiki would translate it. The video that I saw translated differently, but this is how the wiki translated it. A lizard girl took pity on God, and then Madoka continues. So the lizard girl tore God in two and kidnapped one of the halves to Earth from heaven. And then Homura says, this is an awkward translation from
Yeah.
the wiki, but it says that an act even that cruel can seem like a ray of light in the middle of darkness. It's beautiful. Very awkward, but
Yes.
Yeah, like let me see if I can find the like translation in the video itself.
yeah.
Maybe she's like, ain't it swell that cruel acts can seem beautiful? Ain't it swell that I was that depressed that doing something like that made me
Yeah.
happier?
I like your translation.
Thanks.
Because the one in the video looks kind of awkward too, to be honest.
Yeah, they need to start hiring, like, English people who can just, like, reword stuff to sound more, I don't know.
Like
English?
a translator.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know Japanese very well.
Okay, this is how this trailer that we are watching on YouTube translated it. And until that cruelty, that gentle radiance, when it was met in the darkness, was too dazzling.
So again, kind of weird grammar structure
Yeah.
there.
Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts, basically.
But they both get across kind of a similar, like, vague concept of light meeting dark, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Halves and moons, maybe?
Hold on, let me look at the Japanese. Maybe I can
and cruelty
do a
and
better
beauty.
job.
Meanwhile, we have a 3D render of, I believe that's the piece of Madoka's soul gem? Homura's soul?
I think it's Homura's soul gem, isn't it?
Okay.
No, it's Homura's soul gem.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Wait. No.
That's the one from the back of her hand.
No, it's...
Yes.
Okay, guys, this is not it. Dun dun
No?
dun! It is not her soul gem. I looked this up.
What is it?
Yeah, it's not, because her soul gem has a cut to it that makes, like, the surface flat in the center. Here's some frames from, like, some frames from the movie. Look at her soul gem. It's got a different cut. It's got, like, a...
Oh yeah, it's got like little tails on the one end.
Well, I think
Yeah.
those are ornamental stuff, like iron or gold, I don't know. But the actual gem is flattened in the center, whereas this one is like a perfect, like, I don't know how to call it. I'm not a geometrist.
It's got a flat facet on the top, whereas the one in the trailer has a pointed facet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think that's hers, or it could be the thing hanging down from her ear.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I'd have to
How
look
do
at
you
that screenshot again.
How do you dig the CGI? Do you like it?
Not really, actually. It looks
Am
kind
I
of
the
bad.
only person who likes CGI mixed with 2D?
I do,
liked
but
it.
I like it when it looks different.
All
Not
right,
like this.
I don't know. I feel like I'm very forgiving with that. It's just creative to me.
That's fair.
Yeah, but yeah, it is kind of crap. I think those little sparkles are like really crappily rendered.
I would say, like, this trailer seems pretty rough in a lot of places, but I would attribute that to the fact that it wasn't really made for, like, wide consumption, just for, like, being part of this single
it might just not
event.
be finished, maybe.
Yeah, it's very clearly very unfinished in a lot of places.
I'm still trying to translate this damn sentence.
I believe in you, Amanda.
I brought up Rebellion on my screen to see if I can find the screenshot of her earring.
Man, we're multitasking this thing.
We really are. I did not believe we were going to get this I didn't think we were going to get this nitty gritty in it, but now I'm like actually getting into it.
I mean, it's a 4-minute trailer, we might as well.
It does have so much content packed into it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
I've
should
almost
have
got
sold it. I would buy it.
See, my grammar is not good enough to fully pick this apart.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, it is the shape of the one on her earring.
Yeah.
It's silver instead of gold. Like, the one in the movie is gold, and the one in the render is silver.
That is interesting.
Which makes sense, because they also showed the lizard part of the earring earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like prop design, and this is them being like, ooh, we've got cool gems and stuff. We've got CGI for this new project we're doing.
I need to screenshot it so I can post it in the chat.
Okay, I just missed whatever the last 5 minutes where you guys were talking about, but I'm back now.
That's fine.
I love that earring. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess it is her soul gem, just a different shape.
It's very close to her soul gem, but her soul gem has the flat.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
on
like,
the
we know
front.
that soul gems can change shape, though. Like,
Yeah.
It's almost like she migrated her soul gem to her hair to look more like
the
mommy.
full-size soul gem is the, like, black crown thing, and then maybe this is the shrunken version of it, like the rings are.
Yeah.
I'm still iffy on how Homura did the thing, but I know she did a thing.
Oh, don't even get me started.
I mean, it's her universe. I guess she can have rules for soul gems to work how she wants.
Yeah.
She just wants to look stylish. That's all that
She just
matters.
wants a cool earring.
Yeah. Amanda, all of your criticism of Rebellion is like, I love the movie to death, but you're so right. It is,
Okay.
It is actually so frustrating. And all the stuff you liked about it, I like about it too. The script and like the interesting writing and the decisions and stuff. Oh my god. They should have honed that in instead of like having like a, I don't know, 10-minute Star Wars sequence at the end. That was like...
Thank you.
It was
Thank
really...
you very much. I agree.
In my opinion, Gekiden Inukuri, he is, or they, I guess, they're a designer and like an illustrator. They are not a good storyboarder. Like the Star Wars sequence, I had no idea what's going on, and I still don't to this day. I mean, I had to go through it frame by frame. And I think a lot of the problems you can see it in Magia Reko, right? The storyboarding in it is kind of whack sometimes, especially in the fights.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anyway, should we move on? We should.
Yeah, we can move on from the CGI. Soul gem.
Did we talk about? Oh, okay. We're still there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're moving on. The next shot after that is another one of Ballerina Madoka going down on her knee.
Ballerina Madoka does. This is the end of the Dying Swan dance, right? Where it's
probably.
It's
I haven't looked up the full choreography, but I would guess so.
I think it is, and so in the dance, I think this would signify the swan like dying. Where she kind of collapses elegantly and in a ballerina way, but like she kind of collapses to the floor on like one knee
and also
with
she goes from like fully lit to like a black silhouette the way the lighting is.
Yeah, and we've got some big ass windows because Shaft is subtle.
Oh yeah, window check.
And then there's a shot of Homura clapping, like as if she was watching.
She likes what she sees.
Yeah, and not like an enthusiastic clap, but like a villain golf clap.
Oh,
like her hands are horizontal.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that. She is pretty dang badass in this thing.
And also, as it pans up as she's clapping, you can see on her school uniform that she doesn't have the regular bow. She has Madoka's ribbon.
Oh.
I did not notice that.
I didn't
Good
either
eye,
until
Aaron.
the wiki pointed it out.
Good job.
Interesting.
We move on to more subliminal imagery, and this time I think it's Aoki doing the drums, right? She's designing.
Yeah. These look
okay.
like Aoki Ume character designs.
So we get some potential new magical girls. They're very cute. I especially like the girl with the bun.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
her. Yeah,
I
like that.
One
she
of
has
these
the braid.
girls with the just the long straight hair kind of looks like there's a character called Arisa in Love Live that she looks a lot like to me.
Oh, speaking of lookalikes, the first girl we see, she kind of looks like Sayaka, who didn't go to a hairdresser for a while. Maybe it's just me.
That might just be because a lot of Aoki Ume's faces look the same.
Oh, it's not the face. It's the one
Yeah.
with just like the hair, like the way she drew the hair, just reminds me of Sayaka's like messy bob with strands hanging down.
Fair.
Yeah, we get. Which one did you mean with the bun?
There's a girl, like, right after, like, basically the one directly after the person you were just talking about. That
Oh,
looked
yeah,
like
I see.
Sayaka. Yeah.
That's cool.
There's another, the one right after that is, she looks like she's wearing, you know, like those, I know that there's a word for it, I just don't know what it's called, so I'm going to say something stupid instead. Those, like, when you old-fashioned Victorian ball gowns, how they would have, like, this weird cage under the dress instead of, like...
a hoop skirt, I think.
A hoop
But it's
skirt.
on her
That's
neck.
what I'm... It looks like she's wearing a hoop skirt, but, like, around her shoulders, like a cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this character design kind of reminds me of, a little bit.
It reminds me of Roberta, the witch that's just like a pair of legs in a
Yes.
cage.
If there is a witch from the original, that's a good catch. There's a witch from the original series called Roberta that you see in a brief flash. I forget who is fighting Roberta. Is it Kyoko?
It's Homura.
Homura.
Backstory episode.
Yes. So who's like a pair of sexy legs in a
Yeah.
bird cage?
It's very risque.
And her witch labyrinth has a lot of like jewels or like gems and jewelry in it, if I remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
Yeah. So you're right. This is a little bit reminiscent of that just because it's got like the cage imagery.
Yeah, not only that, it looks like a translucent like fabric coming down from the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, although that might just be to show where the arms are underneath. Like, I don't know if it actually is translucent.
Maybe, but like design-wise, I feel like if you make something bulky to go over a person, you usually would make them skimpy to contrast that under there. So it kind of feels like it's going for that
Yeah.
witch, right?
Having it be, if not translucent, but stop right at the elbows where that cage stops, I feel like from a design perspective, that would be a good way to balance out the costume. Because then you can have her be like more slim from that point downwards. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this
And
is
then-
the bun girl you liked. To the right.
Yeah, she's got the same braid around the bun.
She's got the same braid. She has the same little, two little long pieces that come out from the sides of her bangs. So that's interesting. So I guess that's a possible new character.
Yeah. We also get another one. I feel like that's the bear girl from Madoka Euthanizes Everybody montage.
Oh no!
It is the bear girl. She
It
looks
is.
like her. So in the Madoka Euthanizes Everyone montage, there's a girl who looks like she's in some kind of theme park futuristic city who is wearing a partial bear mascot costume / magical girl dress.
So like a Hirokuma girl, basically.
Yeah. And this girl looks like that. She has that girl's hair.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And
that's
her
the first
poofy
person
thing.
I thought of too, yeah.
Great minds think alike. And then we also
Yes.
get I believe this is the same girl, just becoming more witchy, if that makes sense. Because
I don't know. I think this could
It kind of
be
looks like
a
an actual
different
magical girl outfit, at least to me.
I think the last one could have been, I don't know, it could be the same girl. It's really hard to tell because you don't really get a good look at the girl's face.
I think I know it's the
Mhm.
same one because we later see more illustrations with like a bear thing that's like, like a witchy kind of thing. The same thing Sayaka does. They really need to give that a name.
Mhm.
And it looks like it's got pins stuck in it. This one has pins stuck in it as well, and
Oh.
buttons.
It's like a teddy bear.
Yeah, that's the aesthetic I'm thinking of.
That's true. Maybe it is the same one then.
Mhm.
But this
Maybe.
doesn't really look like that girl.
This looks like just a sewing-themed magical girl generally, because it's like a pincushion with sewing needles.
It's very cute. It's a very cute idea for a magical girl. It's kind of hard to say, because the bangs, what we can see of her face and hair, it is kind of reminiscent of the bear girl, but like...
Yeah, she's got the same kind of wispy hair quality.
Yeah, but we get a good look of that bear girl in the anime, and from what I remember, she doesn't have like a pincushion motif to her costume.
Maybe this is like a I try not to call it a doppel because it isn't.
Right.
But maybe it's her witchiness coming through.
It is possible, and who knows? Like we're gonna see in a few seconds, or should I say 20 minutes by podcast time. There's a point in this trailer where Sayaka seems to have like some kind of muzzle over her face, so it's possible that there's some potential costume changes that could happen for magical girls. I don't know. So I don't know. Who knows? We don't know anything about that girl that we saw for 2 seconds in the anime. So who knows who this could be? You know.
You know what we do know? Kyoko is back.
We do know.
Yeah,
she sure is.
My city.
She doing some sakugas.
Oh yeah.
We see her fucking destroying a witch that is just a bunch of parakeet heads and one horse leg. It's pretty great.
It's a crime.
And they're talking about animal violence while that happens, too, because there's, like, some unknown voices talking about how there are a bunch of cats around lately, including dead cats. And then one of the voices asks, how can you tell that they're dead?
Oh, or maybe, okay, in the translations I've seen, it says, is there really a difference between dead ones and living ones? So I'm thinking that's a euphemism for Kyubei. Wait,
that might be a translation choice, yeah.
Why did I say euphemism?
The transcript on the wiki says what's the difference between the live cats and the dead cats.
I want to say that this YouTube video has a better translation generally. This one on the wiki is more literal, but kind of what they're trying to say is closer in the YouTube video, because she's saying there's a lot of cats around lately, and the second girl is like, yeah, but she says shinda neko ga some kanji I can't read, irun datte, which means like she's trying to, the datte is like trying to correct her. Like, did you not notice that some of them are dead? And then the second girl is like, okay, but
how do you know?
How do you tell?
What's the difference?
Yeah, like, do yatte mi wakareru no? Like, how do you see and understand which ones are alive and which ones are dead?
It's more, it is definitely a question, like, and not just like a statement.
Yeah.
I thought it was Nagisa speaking, but maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it is like...
It's really hard to say. Well, we do hear Nagisa speak, and I think neither of these voices are quite that high-pitched.
Alright. Yeah,
I'm not sure, though, like, it's hard to... Like, the wiki doesn't know who they are, either.
Let's assume... Now that you've said it, now that Amanda translated it, it's like a conversation. So I'm gonna assume it's two narrator... shadow girls, whatever.
Yeah. It's Eiko and Biko, that's who it is.
Of course.
Yeah, basically.
We get, I call it a splattering of, subliminal shots. Let's just go through them really quick. We've got Bebe in what looks like Charlotte's Labyrinth, and she's got a shit-eating grin on, and she's ready to, grab your face or something. I don't know. It looks really cool.
That's a great picture of her.
Surely a plate of sweets in the background.
Yeah.
I love Gekkodan's illustrations. But anyway, we have another Kyoko illustration, and she's looking real giggly and really skinny. She's saying something that I can't... Oh, she's saying, exclamation point.
She's saying double exclamation mark.
Yeah, there's too much kanji here for me, unfortunately, so...
It ends in E. I can help you with that.
It does. It ends in warui.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We also have Sayaka standing next to a Doctor Who box? Wait, that's a telephone box. What am I saying?
Or is it another window?
Or yeah, it's probably a window. It's a Madoka. She don't have her friend anymore. We have some letters, which we'll get back to. We have... Okay, what the heck is this? Is this a girl with whirlwinds coming out of her neck?
Yeah, I can read some of this. It says, Chubugaru, shaberu to boru.
So it'd be like Tube Girl.
Yeah.
Tube Girl?
Yeah, like the tubes coming out of her head.
Oh, I thought those were either coral or like whirlwind.
I thought it was mommy for a second, to be honest.
It says tube girl. It says chubugaru.
Maybe in Japan they call this type of coral tube coral, maybe? I don't know. Is it just tube?
It says shaberu to bo bo naru. So I don't know what bo bo means, but it when she talks, so shaberu to, so if she talks, bo bo naru. So whatever bo, so she becomes whatever bo bo means.
We'll need to work on these little scribbles.
Yeah.
Figure out what they mean. But that's for later. Is that that's a tree? It's some environment. I kind of reminds me.
Are you about to say this reminds you of that one scene in Rebellion?
Yes.
Yeah, it does for me too.
But also, I think it's a different environment, and we'll get back to that later because we've got Sayaka. I don't know what she's doing. Is she manspreading? Is she posing? I don't get it.
This looks like sword hilts to me, potentially.
Yeah.
This actually looks a little like it might be a close-up of a shot we see later in the trailer of Sayaka standing in the doorframe with her cape spread like this, and there's some stuff hanging from it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, but I know she summoned swords out of her cape, but here I am suspicious that she's got papers. She's got scrolls hanging down, and the stuff on the scrolls,
I wonder if I know what these are.
They look like soul gems. Like, just a bunch of soul gems hanging from this Christmassy, like, string.
That would be crazy.
If you have coins, Sayaka has wares.
What are you buying?
But yeah, no, when you said that Sayaka brings swords out of her cape, that made me think, like, wait a minute, she does. And it almost kind of looks like you're right that they look like sword hilts. It almost looks like they're, like, locked up in a way. Like, which would make sense if this is the shot with her with the muzzle on.
Right.
So I wonder if
folded swords?
There's a lot of imagery in this trailer of Sayaka being, like, trapped or locked up or just generally, like,
chained down,
locked down.
Or, yeah.
Sealed.
Like the weird undertones of a girl being tied up, but whatever. She has literal pins going through her body. We're gonna see that real soon.
Yeah.
We've got Kyoko. What do you see here? Because I'm lost.
Kyoko flying through almost looks like a continuation of her previous shot.
Yeah,
she's my bad. It's the next shot.
There.
It's the
the next shot. Yeah.
Yeah, is that the Star of David? I think it's like Wraith geometry.
It's another Wraith, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's Wraith geometry, I would say. And then Sayaka's Octavia form is in the sky, possibly fighting the Wraith. And it looks like Kyoko might be talking to which Sayaka. It's kind of hard to tell. And then we get a shot of Sayaka laying in essentially the Walpurgis Apocalypse purple water wreckage scene. She's laying in the water, and she's got like this energy coming out of her. So I think this relates to what we just saw with Octavia in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also got like these strings or these chains, like with maybe soul gems attached to them.
Yeah, like the stuff in her cape.
Yeah, like the shot previously.
So I think this shot is actually gonna be the restraining of Sayaka, because if you look close to her body, zoom in, you see little pins.
Yeah.
And her sword's gone, like, she's not having a good time. And then I think the
like she's pinned down like a butterfly on a butterfly board.
Yeah. Which, could that be the pincushion girls doing?
Maybe.
So.
Maybe.
That would be cool.
And these garlands go up, which makes me think Octavia's up there, coming out of the, the rice noodles.
Yeah.
I think these shots are really bad, in my opinion. I do think they're really static and really bad. I mean, they would be good illustrations, but whatever. What is Kyoko saying?
So Kyoko is saying, so in this better translation, she says something like I can't allow people who point their blade at somebody else for crazy, stupid reasons. And then when it switches to Sayaka, she's like, what's going on? This is impossible. Why can I read this? And I think, like, it
then it immediately flashes which script.
Yeah, it says, why can I read these characters or this writing? And then it flashes to which writing. So I'm pretty sure that was a little contained scene right there between Kyoko and Sayaka.
Probably, yeah.
That little 4-second interaction. So, as we all know...
The runes say on the plaque, sorry, I translated them.
Oh, go ahead.
It's the Eternal Feminine, which is a Faust reference? I have no
Hooray.
It's a Faust thing.
Oh, boy. If only Yasha
Faust
Vana
check.
were here.
And we've got the Law of Cycles thing, but it looks different from the original design. But I'll show you that later. Amanda, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, don't forget that Sayaka has to become a witch in every timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So here she is becoming a witch in the concept trailer.
Of course.
or it could be that like at the end of Rebellion she loses her memories, and maybe this is her like struggling to remember that she already was a witch. And that's why she can read the witch script.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I like that.
Gotta love an amnesia storyline, but I'm sure it'll be
like that would make sense if like Homura is trying to seal off Sayaka's true like memories and identity.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, we move on to Hitomi.
Yeah, this part was very interesting.
Yeah.
I actually did like this part quite a lot. This is one of the parts I know I was being kind of sarcastic earlier. This concept trailer was cool. It was fine. I was just being sarcastic. I did very much like this part with Hitomi. I did not expect to see Hitomi in this.
Justice for Hitomi!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's just young, like the rest of them. Come on. But unfortunately, it seems like she's getting involved in all this magic buffoonery going on, and Kyubey is gently threatening her that if you don't keep your mouth shut about your magical girl friends, you something bad might happen. Something really bad might happen.
No, I think that's Hitomi talking.
The wiki
that's Hitomi
attributes
talking, I think.
this line to Hitomi and says, "You should be discreet. If the existence of magic isn't kept secret, it could disappear."
Mm-hmm.
Did you say Hitomi said this?
Yes.
The wiki attributes this line to Hitomi.
And I can confirm that because Hitomi's voice is weirdly like distinctive to me, and I could definitely recognize it immediately.
I'm gonna listen to it again right now. That's definitely Hitomi talking.
What?
That's not Kyubey. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Because she has like a very cutesy, polite voice, and it's not like Kyubey's mascot voice, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. And interestingly, the YouTube translation translates part of that line is, "I'm certain they've been forbidden to talk about it." Like she already knows.
Yeah.
What? That is
interesting.
See, I just assumed she just found out, and QB's like, "Stay out of it. You're not a main character." But now, okay, that's cool. What do we? Oh yes, this shot. All right, it's time to pull out the big guns because I have behind the scenes footage.
Oh,
what are all these cool pictures?
These are first of all, I have no idea. This is just floating around in the vast ocean of the internet, and I see them, and I'm like, these are like printouts. The people at the event are probably like setting up or framing. I don't know what they're doing with them, but some of them are shots from the concept trailer, and you can actually see in the first picture. This is the illustration is bigger than what they framed in the trailer. You can see like Sayaka's face, and like I don't even know what that is. It looks like a veil or some kind of light, and more soul gems just floating around above her.
It's almost like a dreamscape coming out of her head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't know what that is, but
definitely it also looks like veil-like, for like coming out of the like a tiara almost on her head.
It's hard to tell.
We've got in the background, it's a Volpurgisnacht just hanging out. It's a cool picture, but more relevant is in the second image. We actually, you know what? We should look at the shot of that's in the concept trailer of Sayaka being all chained up and stuff. Where is that?
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, there it is.
It's at 2:33.
Ah, okay. Yeah, we've got witch scripts floating around on pieces of paper, the same invitation, which we assume
which
Sayaka...
the wiki does have a translation of.
Oh yeah, that's right. What was it?
They say, it says roughly translates to, forever under the principle/law of magic, this person's freedom and love will be deprived.
Oh, yikes.
Mm.
Sounds like
Which
fun.
I read that translation before I watched which shot it was associated with, like before I realized that was the shot. And it also sounds like it could apply to Madoka in Homura's like barrier.
Yeah, that's what I think.
All of those invitations, if we're going to call them that, are glowing purple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Is that a Homura thing?
Yeah.
Might
Because
be.
Homura's
probably.
primary color is like purple and black.
And she did do it with a truck. She kind of like, I don't know what she did with the truck, but it was something cool and it involved having a purple outline.
Whenever she has a color, it's purple. It's not
Right.
red, it's not black, it's,
But okay, the weird part is, if you zoom in onto Sayaka being trapped and all, she's in the same pose as the illustration with her cape, and she's got more pins just stuck to her feet and like
stuck to her feet.
Yeah.
Could it be Tomura? I don't know. Could it be one of the girls that we were shown sketches of? Like the I'm gonna call her Pinhead.
Pinhead.
Could it be the Pinhead girl?
I would bet that it's Homura. Like, it tracks with everything that Homura has done to Sayaka since creating this new world.
Yeah, could be. Okay, and for more context, here's an actual, like, illustration that you can see it on the table there. It's kind of hard to see, but I kind of reverse engineered it, and it's pretty much like a wider shot of what's going on in this shot, and we actually see what's above Sayaka. It's her witch form.
Oh, I
my
wondered if I saw
God.
some fists grabbing the columns there.
Holy moly.
Hachi
That's-
machi.
That's
Good
what-
detective work.
That's what we call crazy.
Thank you.
Whoa! So then those gold things are Octavia's swords. Are that
Oh,
Oh yeah! Oh my
That's
God.
pretty freaking cool. That is
And
a
she's
very
so
nice
small
find.
compared to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can also see those little squares that are floating around in the picture. Those are the paper.
Yeah.
yeah. They're all like
Mhm.
they're all like seals. Like I'm just
Yeah.
thinking of, like Sailor Mars with her like
Yes.
little paper seals.
Well, that's also what I was thinking. Like, these remind me of, they're not called Ofuda, are they?
I can't remember what the actual name for them is.
Yeah, I
something to
think
do
they
with
are
tribes,
called.
right?
I want to call them Ofuda. I was gonna say talisman, but talismans are also those little things you can buy at shrines that are in fabric,
Mm.
and you can like hang them on your bag.
Yeah.
That's different. An
Yeah.
Ofuda is like the actual slip of paper that you see Sailor Mars use in Sailor Moon, but you also can
Mhm.
like paste them to walls and like put them in books and oh, here we go. I just googled it. Ofuda. So in Japanese religion, an Ofuda refers to the following items: a talisman issued by a Shinto shrine on which is written the name of the shrine or its enshrined kami and stamped with the shrine seal. Or a talisman
Oh, that's why the
intended for
card
a specific purpose.
has the seal on it.
Yeah.
Oh! Yeah, and it does look like a shrine. Like the architecture with the crisscrossy stuff and just the columns and the vibe of it. It looks like a shrine. It's symmetrical.
Yeah, it looks like a cross between a shrine and a dungeon.
Yeah. A shrungeon, if you will.
Yeah, that is very cool.
Another weird thing, I don't know if it matters, but I noticed among the witch symbols, and the weird cameo witch of animation, we also have, like, I think it's an alternate version of the Law of Cycles logo kiss thing, because we see one that's, like, more original, and then we have this one with a black Disney villain crown, and, like,
It's almost like a Madoka version and a Homura version.
Could it be a Homer emblem? Like, this is what she has for herself now.
Mayhaps.
That's
'Cause the-
possible.
Because her like new soul gem has that crown shape to it.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
wings are black. They're not
The wings
white
are black.
anymore.
It has witch script around it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. What the heck?
Mm-hmm. And then it has the ribbon.
Mhm.
So that one definitely feels
Mm.
more like Homer to me than the other one does.
Yeah, and like a purple in the background. Almost the circle in the background kind of looks like a big purple eyeball.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it does.
Speaking of eyeballs, guys, guess.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's in like a few more shots after this. Maybe we should get back on the road with Mickey from the trailer.
The next shot has, I don't remember her actual name. I keep wanting to say Charlotte.
Nagisa?
Oh, we do get
Nagisa.
Kyubey blink quickly
Yeah.
in between that.
Yes.
We do get
yes,
to see
that's
Kyubey's
right.
eyeballs again, yeah.
Oh, he does blink. Okay, so that was the
He blinks once. Exactly once.
Oh my gosh.
You're right.
So that could have been the transition from the beginning. We are seeing this through his eyes.
You're right. That could have been.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the next shot is Nagisa, and she's running through a scene that has, like, she's, like, running through grass, and there's trees, and a pretty blue sky, and she's talking about, for some reason, this smells like a conspiracy.
Get it? Because she she likes to eat stuff and smoke.
And smell things, yeah.
Yeah!
That's her personality, is that she eats and smells things.
Okay, hopefully we'll develop her more here, since
No.
No?
No.
Okay,
No.
okay.
No.
It's hard to say, because she's supposed to be like a very young character.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Would a character that young even know what a conspiracy is?
Think about it this way, Mommy, she's named Mommy, Bebe's named Baby, right? So I don't know. What if this movie's about their relationship? One can only
Oh,
hope.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it means anything, by the way, but the trees she runs by, none of them have leaves either.
Oh, well, now she has use for those pom-poms. She also looks at the camera like we're about to, like, she seems kind of frightened, like we're chasing her through the trees.
Well, that's when it switches to Kyubey, too.
Oh,
Kyubey's
yeah.
eyes.
And he's like, oh, this doesn't
Like,
have
she
any
sees
matter.
him almost.
Oh, yeah, right. And he's basically, it seems like he's being accused, and he's like, what are you talking about? You've got no evidence against me. And then, okay, we get a subliminal shot, an illustration of Homer dodging a blunt, like, broken sword in a library with, like, really good curtains. I wish I had those curtains. And there's books flying all over the place.
I can't even fathom what is supposed to be going on in this.
Is that supposed to be one of Sayaka's swords?
No, okay, we'll see later that this might be actually Mommy.
Oh.
Yeah, which is mind-blowing.
Is this supposed to be like a little pistol then?
No, we see her wielding swords later.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. Right. Okay.
So think about it this way. Sayaka got inspired by Mommy and got little triggers on her swords when she became a magical girl. And now Mommy is being, like, led by Sayaka as a mentor figure.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
like that kind of.
Well, we'll see it in the shot later. But anyway, we keep going. And is that a lizard eye? That's a lizard eye. Looking through an elevator door at Sayaka
Yeah.
and Homura.
They meet the Eye of Sauron, as you do.
Of course. Could it be the fact that, the lizard girl thing?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. We also, we have this weird shot of, this is Kyoko. I thought it was Madoka, because it looks vaguely pinkish. It's Kyoko. And she's in a wasteland, and she's about to, like, take on an army of, I don't know what those are.
The aliens from Arrival.
They've got more legs than they've got 4 legs, but they look like the tripods from, like, War of the Worlds.
I know what they're designed after. It's a type of squid. Here, I'll send you a pic.
Oh.
It's
Also,
the
the wiki says they do look like an existing witch or witch minion.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
like there's one. Amanda, like it looks like the one in the mobile game that looks like a tube, like an inner tube with the long legs that come out of it.
Oh! Yes. Yeah. Yes.
This
Ooh,
thing.
that's some SCP shit there.
Oh. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
deep ocean squid. I think they're based on that. I don't know. That's my hunch.
Yeah, they do kind of look like that.
I think the what you're saying, Aaron, is also definitely a possibility, though. Do you have a
Yeah, it's
picture?
hard to say exactly
I don't
because it's not
remember
very
what those-
detailed, but
I don't remember
they
what
do
those
look
are
like
called.
them.
Yeah, I think Aaron's right. They look like literal intertubes if you look closer.
I'm trying to figure out where I saw the name before of it because I definitely read this name earlier in my research.
Next comes is a Homura being in her sexy devil form, which is like, all right, cool.
This is an extremely dope picture.
Yes.
Got it. It's this one. It's the witch's name is Paula, and the familiar's name is Bona.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's them.
Like
You're
the legs
right.
are shorter,
Yeah,
but it's that
this
same
is-
shape.
Yes. This is what you're. Yes. This.
This is wow.
This is yes. This. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is some serious detective work we're doing.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
this.
that the wiki is doing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you remember the freaking minion. That takes some serious nerdage. Anyway, we move to what looks like an theater, like an opera theater. You can see in the background, you can see like
Yeah.
little red seats and stuff.
Oh shit! Is it Sayaka's witch barrier?
Maybe, or this could be the reference to like you saw the Baroque architecture in the beginning with Madoka being a ballerina. Maybe this is like a ballet hall or something.
Oh.
Anyway, we get this dope picture of Homura, and she's got
Well, one other thing I would point out with that picture before we move on from it.
oh sure.
Well, two things. One, it looks like she's got literal wings in this picture.
Yes.
And number two, this hall reminds me of the large kind of building-ish thing that she was in at the end of the Rebellion movie. Like that the entire last 20 minutes of the Rebellion movie takes
Oh,
place in, where
yeah.
she's talking to Kyubey. Do you remember that? Like where
Yeah.
Kyubey's
Okay.
like...
Yeah.
Do you,
Like a
you know what I'm talking
Colosseum?
about, right?
Yeah, it was a
Mhm.
Colosseum.
Yeah, it looked like a Colosseum. The background vaguely reminds me of that setting also.
That could be it.
Yeah.
It didn't have the chairs in the movie, but I
It
don't
didn't.
know. This,
Yeah, I it did not have the chairs, but the columns.
It does
and
have
the
that like
floors-
arc window type
Yeah.
feel, though.
Yeah.
Mhm. Maybe a callback. Oh, also, if you look behind Homer, you've got like the ugly colors. Like, remember when she consumes the universe, and we have Nagisa be like, "Oh, look at
Oh,
those
yeah,
ugly
yeah.
colors, the ugly colors of
It's the
love."
color of curses.
It's the
Yeah.
color of simpage. I'm mature. Anyway, we have all the Claridol minions coming out of her, and they look like ghosts. I don't know,
They just look like tentacles, basically.
Yeah,
coming
tendrils
out of
or
her.
something.
Yeah.
as if they're an extension of Homura. Wow. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Squid Homura. Okay, what's next? Oh yeah, it's this shot of Madoka. That's Madoka, right?
Yes, it looks like Madoka in her ballet costume, and this symbol next to her, I'm just noticing, looks like the symbol on the pink version of the modified Law of Cycles.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a Law of Cycles star, like a compass. I call it a compass.
Well, no, I mean, okay, so we're talking about the black one. It looks like it has Homura's demon seed crown at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, so then look at the image that you posted above that, how it's pink instead of black.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there's like a similar thing at the top of it.
It looks
also.
kind of like a heart-shaped crown.
It looks like a heart-shaped crown, like more of
Yeah.
like a British royalty crown, I guess is what I would call it.
Hmm.
This symbol kind of looks a little bit like that, doesn't it?
Maybe. I think this is a chandelier, actually, like a lamp.
Yeah. The shape is very similar, though.
Now that
and
I'm
it is
looking at
associated with
it's
the
not
star.
quite the same, yeah.
But you're right. This little star thing or compass thing is like the chandelier we saw
Yeah.
in the
Mhm.
Swan thing, the Swan Hall. Yeah, and there's also curtains, and we get to the ground shattering and lava and fire coming out of it, and who do we see, Panda? Who do we see?
Mommy shows up in there's like a wall of fire behind her, and she is glowing golden and resplendent, and it is incredible.
And she is mad, and she will ground you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she looks angry.
She is Angie.
She about to send you to bed without tea.
Yes.
Oh my god.
She's doing the same pose Madoka does when Madoka, I think, makes the wish. Or
Yeah,
something.
she's
Yeah.
glowing the same kind of way, too.
Yeah, Madoka glowed pink. She's glowing yellow.
The composition is, like, again, I can't take credit for this observation because it's on the wiki, too, but
Right.
the
Yeah.
screenshots show you that, like, the composition is exact.
She
And the-
well, the only difference is that Mommy has her arms crossed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah.
But
And her eyes closed.
But the camera angle, the placement of like kind of the way the skirt is, the way her legs are kind of put one in front of the other. All the rest of it is very, very similar.
The movement from down to up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just the proportion of how much you can see in the shot.
Yeah.
Also, is that another famous building being destroyed in the previous one? In the previous shot, there's like a tall little Japanese-looking building and I still don't know what that is.
I'm not sure. If this is supposed to be Mitakihara, I don't know if it's a real building, but there's definitely buildings like that, for sure.
Remember how there's, like,
Yeah.
Dubai the literal Dubai Tower in Mitakihara?
Yeah.
Maybe that's, like, another cameo, but whatever.
Maybe.
It's hard to tell what's going on here. This is just, like, hell. This is mommy hell.
She is literally raising hell.
Oh! And she sounds really pissed, and I hope this is the right translation. It has to be. It's simple. You too keep secrets from... Wait, never mind. This is a bad translation.
It took me a couple times to read it too, because it flashes by too quick on the screen. The wiki transcript at least says, so you've been keeping secrets from us as well. Although, I don't know if that's the right spirit of it or not.
I don't know if it is either. It did not sound quite correct to me.
Yeah, because, like you said, the line here looks like, you too keep secrets from yourself and from whoever you're with. Don't
heck?
you?
Yeah.
That's what I meant by some of these lines take on a real different meaning depending on who's looking at the translation.
Yeah.
We might get the gist of it. I don't know. I feel like I
Yeah,
have
no, that sounds about right. Yeah, this
The
is what I
second
mean when
one?
I say this, the wiki translation is, like, not super great. Because she says, anata mo anata de, dare to isho ni no toki mo, and then kanji, hold on. I can do some of this, I promise.
We believe in you.
Kaku shigoto, yeah. So, bakari, ne, yeah. So, that is what she's saying, basically. So, like, all you do is keep secrets from yourself and when you're around other people, don't you? Like, that's kind of what she's saying.
It's a very accusatory kind of statement, it sounds like.
So you keep secrets from yourself and from other people when you're with them, don't you? Like, that kind of thing.
There's drama.
Mm-hmm.
And adding to that drama is another sketch of a teddy bear cushion thing with buttons and needles, and it's getting its arm ripped off by a Clara doll on a tentacle. So we can assume that these girls, these new magical girls, are fighting against Homura, and this is also taking place in a bell tower, if you look behind her.
Oh, yeah. That looks like that's some Utna bells.
Heck yeah! That's what I thought. We also have we have mommy wielding swords, which is
unusual.
Yes, but also kind of weirdly ironic.
They're specifically Sayaka's swords,
Yeah.
right?
And we've got Sayaka kind of like looming behind her.
Which, this looks connected to one of the, like, behind-the-scenes images that you posted. There's another image that shows Sayaka's full pose in that illustration.
Oh, that's right, okay.
The one that's next to the one where she's got the muzzle on.
Oh yeah, she looks like she's a person still, but why is she so
Yeah,
big?
like, there's not much else that's revealed there, but it's nice to see, like, the full art of it.
I don't know if she's so big, or is she just, like, supposed to be standing
She's just closer to the camera, I think,
the-
but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what if she's a spirit, like a guiding spirit? I don't know. That's the kind of feeling.
Like, there's a bunch of, like, what looks like almost water patterns
I know
flowing
what
out
those
from
are.
her.
Here, I'll explain. So those
sure.
Those are curtains.
Oh.
Yeah, here, I'll post. Those are the same curtains we see from Homura getting stabbed in her mug.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm assuming is
yeah.
happening here, Mommy cut through a curtain with her sword and, like, cut a shape out of it, and then we see the watery stuff under Sayaka's skirt. That's just the curtain falling.
Oh,
Does that
maybe.
make sense?
Or it's at least showing that
that's
these are taking place in the
definitely-
same scene as that other drawing, possibly.
That's definitely possible. I can see that for sure.
It does look like there's a very sharp cut in, like, whatever
Yeah.
the pattern is there.
Mm-hmm. That's my guess, anyways. But moving on from all this coolness, we have Homura guiding Madoka up a staircase that's melting?
Mhm.
Yeah.
More melting imagery.
Is Madoka melting? Dun dun dun. Look at
She's
her
a
dress.
melting, dying swan, as far as I can tell. And she has to be saved.
And it feels like with the shots, like Homer is running away from Mommy, and Mommy's like, gonna stab you. I'm not sure why.
Oh, heck. I don't know if we're bringing, like, more, like, Greek myth stuff into this, but this looks almost like the myth of Orpheus and Persephone, with leading Persephone out of the underworld and not facing her.
Oh, that gives me emotions.
There's also the mommy being a warrior, I think, as a reference. I'm not sure, I forgot.
Oh yeah, you were going to tell us all the stuff about the Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
See, I wish I could tell you about the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, but I haven't studied up on it.
I certainly can't.
I certainly cannot.
That's too bad. I did hear the way she's connected to the main, or one of the characters from the Romance of the Three Kingdoms is that either one got beheaded or something, or torn into four by, like, horses? One of those.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty gruesome, but, like, you see why it's mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have, what the heck is that? It's like a big ship? Eiffel Tower?
I don't know. It looks almost like a big, like, it looks like it has a horse leg coming out the bottom of it.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
There's a moon.
The wiki says it looks like Charlotte, but I don't see it personally.
Look up closer to the head of it. It's got a clown nose and teeth.
Kinda, yeah.
And it's also got, like, ears, and once we come
Oh
closer...
yeah, it's got baby ears. It does have baby ears.
They kind of look like gills, or like fish.
It reminds me more of like a building.
Oh yeah, it
The
is a
like
building.
bridge coming out of its mouth is messing me up in terms of the overall silhouette.
Yeah.
Could that be a ship mast, like, or a ship nose?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't tell, but it's big. It's very big. It's
Yeah. But like the big horse leg gives me a sense of it being like almost like this giant world steed.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Or like the Earth has been turned into a ship, something of that
Mhm.
sort. Maybe
Yeah,
Homer's,
you're right. The entire Earth is a masthead.
yeah, or maybe Homer's climbing up the stairs in the tower. Like that's what it's implying.
Mm.
They're going
Oh,
into
maybe.
space.
Oh.
We get this very rad shot of Homer looking at her hand, and
It's all like there's flames, and you just see the outline of Homura looking at a hand that is very, like, the fingers are elongated, and she's got these big, long, sharp nails.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
very Nosferatu hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was I the bad guy all along? And then in the very next shot, she's bigger than skyscrapers, and she's just standing there looking gorgeous and flipping her hair and saying, like, you intend to get in my way?
Ultra anime villain moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, Monica's hairband looks stuck on a tree branch, and we hear her saying in the background, you don't have to resent anyone anymore. So it looks like she's still trying to prevent anything from happening. And she says, you have me. And this is where we get Madoka's second outfit
Mm-hmm.
in this trailer, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know.
It
I
was
love
super
it.
cool.
It does look a lot more magical girl to me.
It's very frilly.
Yeah.
I think it's starting to look less and less magical.
Really?
To me, it looks almost kind of restrictive. At least the way that Madoka runs in it.
Okay, you guys are probably right, since there's so many bells and stuff. It just seems more like a party, like, not a party, like a dress, right? It seems like more casual wear. And yet we still see her soul gem in its, like, when she transforms, it's on her chest, right? It's not a ring.
It seems a little more
Hmm.
classical magical girl as opposed to, like, Madoka magical
That's what I
girl.
mean by it. It seems
Yeah.
like more magical girl to me. It seems more what I would think of. It looks like it has, to me, honestly, it looks like it has elements from, like, what I would expect from Pretty Cure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a Cardcaptor Sakura outfit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Kind of looks like it. But, like, I don't know, it doesn't seem suited for, like, fighting.
No.
Yeah, it
not at
really
all.
doesn't. It's
Yeah.
very poofy.
Yeah.
The shoulders look like they don't let her raise her arms up very much.
No.
And she's also
And that's
being chased by
exactly how it
crows.
looks when she runs in the next shot. Is like it looks like she can barely raise her arms as she's running.
Well, that's a good catch, too.
Yeah.
You know what it gives me the vibe of? It doesn't look like this outfit, but it feels like this outfit. It feels like the fake Princess Serenity dress that Usagi wears towards the end of Sailor Moon R when
Oh,
she's with
God.
the villain.
Oh,
When-
yes.
When she's
100%, I
being
get that.
creeped on. Yeah.
I feel like this is a dress Homura picked up for her.
I think
Also,
so too.
In between that design of the dress and her running is a shot of her silhouette reflected in Kyubei's eye.
Yeah.
And then the camera goes into her soul gem, which looks kind of too deep, dark pink, like Kyubei's eyes, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a parallel. Because it's even, her soul gem even has, like, a dark spot, like a pupil.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like as it zooms further and further in, you get to basically just a black background.
Yeah. Oh, and also in Kyubei's eye, the reflection, the round one, is in the same position as the light leak in the very first shot. So maybe that's what that shot was of. We were way up in Kyubei's pupil, just seeing the light reflected on it.
Camera's too close. Pull back.
Also, Madoka in this costume running away, she's running away from crows.
Yes. This is another ballet thing.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
At least if you're going Swan Lake with
You're
it, maybe.
You're right, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pulling that again from Princess Tutu, I think, too.
Yeah.
And also Homura's minions and Homura having black wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think her black
Definitely.
wings have literal crow wings on them.
They do. And, like, black feathers are used as a symbol of her barrier after it changes towards the end of Rebellion.
Right.
Oh!
Like, Mommy is holding a black feather at one point.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. Okay, yeah, you're totally right. Anyway, we go into her soul gem, and Madoka's like, "You guys are gonna help me? You're all fairies too?" So, I guess she doesn't understand what a magical girl is, and she's assuming they're fairies, and she either sees other fairies around, or she thinks she's asking, like, "Are you guys fairies just like me?" So maybe Homura just, like, told her, "Oh yeah, you're like a magical fairy thing."
We have to keep you safe in this ballet hall.
I like seeing all the silhouettes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out who might be who, maybe.
Yeah.
One of them kind of looks like Walpurgisnacht's kind of headdress, like the two horns coming down.
Oh.
A little bit.
She's blue, light blue.
There's definitely some ponytails, so there could be a Kyoko in there.
Maybe. Maybe we'll never see.
Oh
them. Maybe
yeah,
just,
I see a potential Kyoko in there. She's even red.
Even the ribbon.
Oh yeah. I see it in motion. You can see it better.
Yeah,
that's Kyoko. Can convince
and
me
then
otherwise.
We get another shot of the horse building Bebe thing.
Yeah, which looks even more like a horse at that point.
Yeah, you can see it kind of has a second leg coming up around the Earth's horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And we see
Mommy
once
shit.
again, golden, shining, standing.
She's got her boob socks.
I feel like it's implied that she's standing, like, at the top of whatever this is.
Yeah,
because,
atop her giant world steed.
She's at, like, the captain's deck or something.
Yeah, you can kind of see that she's in, like, the big, like, globe part at the top.
Mm-hmm. It almost feels kind of like Gunbuster or Gurren Lagann-ish.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You can even see the teeth, actually, in the shot as you come up. You see the teeth go past the camera.
Yeah.
Or, like, the iron.
Oh, true.
Works.
Yeah, you're right. As, like, a big ring around her.
She looks really cool. I hate how you can, like, if you... they literally drew, like, an extra outline so you can tell that the clothes goes in between the boobs, just to reinforce the boob socks.
Boob socks.
Also, she must also be huge, because if that's the scale of the, like, teeth, and she's, like, not that much smaller than them.
Oh, yeah!
Oh my god. She's gotta be massive.
Everybody's growing in this trailer.
What would Madoka be without Mommy's giant titties?
She now has the giantest titties in the universe.
Just wouldn't be the same thing, you know?
Amanda sounds so mad.
Amanda's so resigned.
She's so done. Anyway, we get a pew pew from Mommy's weapon, and it's like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Concept movie, Madoka Magicast.
And then that's it. That's the end.
That's it. That's the end.
Concept was suffering.
Damn right.
That's it. That was
Concept is suffering.
So
Which is kind of the moral of that Homura takes away from this whole thing, I feel
all
like.
right, so everyone, let's all give our impressions on this now that we've actually at the end of it.
I want this to exist. I
Okay,
want
yes.
this to be a real thing.
All right, you go first, Panda.
Yeah.
I want this to be a thing that is made into a movie. I want to know what the fuck they intended on doing with this. Like, on the one hand, I do feel like the way that it exists as a concept trailer, I feel like they probably could not deliver on the promise of whatever this is, just because, like, I was disappointed with the way that Rebellion panned out, and I don't have a lot of hope for Shaft and even, like, Gen to, like, stick the landing of this. Like, I feel like they've got, like, really interesting ideas, and I really want to see how that would pan out, but I'm not hopeful that it would, like... Just at the end of the day, I would probably not love the actual movie that happened, and I'm more enamored with the idea of the movie it could be.
Which, maybe it is living up to its name in that case. It is literally just a concept in your head,
Yeah.
and that's all it will ever be.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Somebody else go next.
Aaron?
I certainly was wowed by the visuals of it. I liked picking it apart the way that we just did, even just like picking through like the wiki and whatnot and trying to piece together various bits of like, oh, this means this, or this is referencing this, or this looks like a thing that we've seen, or maybe it's not. It's interesting to pick apart as a puzzle. I'm not sure how good a movie it would be if it was a real movie. It could be a decent movie, especially if some of these fan theories ended up being accurate, or even if they're not, even if it's just like it seems like the general thrust of it is a let's break Madoka out of Homura jail movie, which I would watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think because it's been a concept for so long and people have had so long to speculate about it, even us just speculating about it now is just adding to 5 years worth of speculation about it. Whatever real movie might come of this, if it ever does, almost certainly can't live up to that amount of speculation about it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The weight really affects. I think it'll definitely affect everybody who watches this in the future.
The weight of the giant mommy head crashing down on everything.
Yes, the weight of mommy's head.
Sammy, what did you think of this trailer?
Oh, all right.
You're letting me go last. Thank you.
right,
I assumed that you would want to go last, Amanda.
I just feel like I'm going to run my mouth, so I should probably go last.
All right. So, if I actually was at that event, which I can't imagine how happy I'd be being at that event and just enjoying like all the stuff, you know? If I saw this trailer premiere there, I would have crapped myself, and I still crapped myself when I first saw it. And it's not that I feel starved of Madoka, right? Because I can always just come back to it and appreciate the good times I've had with it and talk about it. But to me, I don't think any show was ever perfect. So when Madoka ended, especially ended on Rebellion, right? I felt like there was always room for improvement throughout Rebellion, throughout even like the beginning series. So seeing like a concept movie still gives me hope for a future project. It's so hands-on to be able to like see them storyboard this stuff out and like write a whole piece of new music and hopefully write some dialogue by Gen Urobuchi. Please. I guess my impressions of this, I like this, but I hope that it will, I guess, live up to people's expectations, or maybe kind of subvert people's expectations about it. Because
yeah,
I don't know if I want to see it subvert expectations, considering what Rebellion was the subversion of expectations.
Yeah.
You know what? I know what will help me to voice my feelings about this. I really understand Amanda's perspective, despite myself like really liking Rebellion as a new show, as it takes the show into a new direction.
Right.
The stuff she said about it is like, it is so true. this is this the first of all, like, them focusing on the wrong stuff, or like, not outlining, not caring about the script enough, right? And having too much fan service for an already, like, a movie that's pushing 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's pretty much longer than The Godfather, I think.
It's really long.
I think it could have been better, and I always want it to be better. As a person who also makes stuff, like, there's always hope and potential for creators to, like, stick the landing. So, I don't know. I'm happy I saw this trailer, and looking back at it now, there's so much stuff to unpack in it too.
I know, yeah. Well, first of all, if I was at this event and I saw this trailer, I would also have been stoked to see it. Like, I would not, even though I was being sarcastic earlier, like, of course, I'm doing that for jokes and for content. Okay, so, like, I would have been super hyped to see something like this at any kind of Shaft event. So I would have had a blast, and I would not have, like, ruined it for you or for anyone else there at all. But, like, I mentioned, like, at the beginning, like, my immediate reaction after watching this was, like, it kind of had everything in it that I would expect to see in a trailer for a Rebellion sequel. And that's, I mean, the reason I say that is because I have already thought about this myself. Like, what would a Rebellion sequel even look like? And there's really only so many things you can do with it. Like, who is it going to be about? There's only so many characters you have to work with, right? So Madoka is basically not the protagonist anymore. She's the person who has to get saved. And then Homura is your antagonist. So you've got Sayaka, Mami, and Kyoko to work with. So Sayaka is a potential main character. And then you've got Mami and you've got Kyoko. There really isn't enough. Kyoko really doesn't have enough of a personal connection to the other characters based on the anime to make a good main character. But Mami does, because Mami has her rivalry with Homura, and Mami has her connection to Madoka. So logically, your options for the main character for Rebellion sequel would either be Sayaka or Mami. And because Mami is such a popular character, it would probably be Mami, right? So honestly,
and that seems like what they went with.
Yeah, I would expect it to be Mami. And since Sayaka is the only person who, like, knows what's going on, for Sayaka to be kind of, like, chained up and kind of out of commission, also pretty much along the lines of what I would expect, because you have to have a reason for why she doesn't immediately tell everyone what's going on, or otherwise, like, solve the problem immediately. You know what I'm talking about? Like, she has all the information necessary to know what's happening.
Kind of seems like she's gonna be a mentor figure, like, as a reversal.
Yeah, and, like, the movie pretty much has to be about getting Madoka out of Homura's, like, little witch world, and maybe getting a resolution for Homura's bad decision so that she can have, like, a good ending. Like, that's kind of what the movie has to be about, because you left that entire conflict unresolved in the second movie.
They did tease Homura, like, self-reflecting.
Yeah, you left that completely unresolved. So that's what the sequel would have to be about. So, and then there's really nothing else in the trailer other than those elements, other than a bunch of, like very cool imagery, but, like, not a whole lot of other, like, really solid actual story elements to go off of.
Yeah, the script was really sparse.
Yeah, so that's what I meant when I said, like, it's kind of exactly what I would have expected from a trailer that didn't really have any information in it, but other than, like, kind of what I would expect to see. So it certainly wasn't bad. It didn't have anything in it that really surprised me in terms of story. It had a lot of very cool visuals. Would I like to see it? Of course I would. Would I hope that it's good? Of course I would. Unless Gen is writing it, I probably wouldn't have the highest hopes for it to satisfy me.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. Maybe the guy who did the script for the really good manga adaptions, I might trust him to write the script. Because the manga, writing in the manga, at least the manga we've read so far, has been very good.
I would not trust Inukuri to write the script.
No.
I would trust...
Based on what we've seen from their writing, I don't know that I would either.
I would just go back to your corner, Inukuri, and start designing cool stuff. Okay? Just stay over there. Stay out.
It's like, it doesn't mean you're not a talented artist.
Yes.
There's just different skill sets required for different things.
It's like George Lucas writing the script for Phantom Menace. It's like, George, I don't think your strength is script writing, George. I think you needed to give that to somebody else.
He's an ideas man.
Yeah.
He's an ideas guy. He's a visuals guy.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And most importantly, keep your hands off of the storyboards, Inukuri. You don't know how to storyboard, okay?
I have to say, if this had just come out yesterday and we were watching it, I would be so much more hyped about it.
I can understand that, definitely.
Yeah, the fact that this came out 5 years ago and there has been total silence on this project since
Not a
then,
peep.
Right? It has been silence, right? Have we heard anything else about this?
Yeah, no, like,
I don't think so.
most recent thing that seems to have been revealed on the Madoka front is Magireko Season 2!
Yay!
The closest they even came to acknowledging it was, like, I think Homura's Seiyu saying in a panel that, like, the main Madoka story is not over yet.
Yes.
And that was it. That was at a Magireko panel.
At least they haven't forgotten that Rebellion is an unfinished half of a story that needs a second half.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the middle part of a trilogy and we're still missing the last part of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least they haven't forgotten about that. So that's encouraging, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I know you refer to Rebellion as unfinished, and honestly, I can see that. It didn't tie itself well together at the end. If it did, I would still think that it left too much room for potential. Like, Homura, to me, seems like she'd make a great villain. Especially when we have Rebellion as, like, a sort of negative character arc for her, of some sort. But yeah, I feel like, to me, it's less unfinished and more like there's too much potential here to not try to make another thing, you know?
It just doesn't feel like
Yeah.
Homura's character arc resolved at the end of Rebellion. Like, I feel like it was kind of I can get on the idea that was, like, a natural progression of her as a character, but Rebellion doesn't feel like the end of her character arc.
No, it's not.
So
It's not a resolution. It's...
Mm-hmm.
And if it is, then it's, like, real fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's really depressing.
Yeah.
Maybe not like a resolution. Maybe it's like a conclusion to a person's transformation, even if that's a negative transformation. But then again, I feel like it hasn't been resolved properly.
Let's say concept movie is made and comes out, and it's incredible, right?
Oh my!
Everyone loves it. It gives everybody exactly what they want, right? It makes sense to the people who like Rebellion. It satisfies the people who felt like the Rebellion ending wasn't a good ending. It makes all the shippers happy. It makes all the people who want fan service happy. It makes all the people who want good writing
Mommy
happy.
has her boob socks.
Mommy has her boob socks. The people who make it sell tons of merchandise. Let's just say it is a smash hit home run. If that happens, then Rebellion is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like then the movie retroactively makes Rebellion a must see. Like a necessary second chapter in this epic 3-part story. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Because it solves its core problem.
Exactly. Because it's just the second chapter in a bigger story that has an ultimate point to it. You know what I'm saying?
At that point, the worst you could say about them is, like, neither Rebellion nor the concept movie needed to exist because the original story ended just fine.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna continue it, then that's the way to do it. You need Rebellion as that second chapter, and then you need a satisfying conclusion to tie it up. Exactly.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. So, if the fact that this trailer is 5 years old and nothing has moved forward with this idea is maybe my biggest criticism of this trailer, which isn't even the trailer's fault.
It's disappointing.
Yeah.
Because you would hope that if they were going to be taking this and making it into a bigger thing, that we would see something. But it feels like focusing on Magireko has taken over, and
everybody gets eaten by the gacha.
That's where it feels like that's where the resources
they are
going.
making.
I mean, I get that. Like, I understand that. It's disheartening, I guess.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah, you know what? You know what it is? It's like we had this really mature story that kind of said F you to people who are watching it because they want to have their weird beliefs about, what's cute and what's fun reinforced. It's kind of like this really mature and kind of cynical, but also it's hopeful, and it's a critique, right? Then we go into Rebellion, and it's like it's setting up something, right? It's like an end of Ava that's been hastily put together. Like it didn't watch itself. It didn't watch its script, right? And it's left so many things unresolved and unanswered.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just move on to Gacha, and it's kind of like it's a bit bizarre, right? Because it's like a sellout almost, but not really, because they need money.
It feels like a sellout.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Honestly, Rebellion itself felt like a sellout to me, even at the time, so it's kind of just a downward trajectory all around.
Yes. You can at least argue there could have been some artistic merit to Rebellion, and them being
not saying there's no artistic merit there.
Let's do something crazy.
But the forces behind its creation.
Let's do something really unexpected and crazy and see how people react. Like, at least might be some, like, wacky, like, artistic insanity behind that, but the whole pivoting to gacha thing is just total sellout,
I mean, I'm still giving them the money in hopes that they're gonna make this goddamn movie. You have heard of Chiwa Saito? Like, I think Aaron said something about that. Basically, her saying like, "Hey, don't worry about it. Devil Homura will be back. Regular Homura will be back. There's still more original Madoka content on the way."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
In 100 years, she said under her breath. And then, but yeah, I think that's a good confirmation. It will happen. It's just like, what will happen?
You may be dead, but it'll happen.
Right.
Yeah. This is an interesting note here in our outline, because this is also something that I was thinking. The comparison between the Madoka sequel conundrum with the final rebuild of Evangelion movie, and how we've been waiting for that movie for almost a decade
true.
now.
Yeah. Could just be moving at that kind of pace.
Yeah. Well, at least Hideaki Anno, like, worked on the Shin Godzilla movie. Like, we know what he was busy doing. Like, we know we were waiting on one guy to, like, get back around to wanting to work on it. You know what I mean?
And we do kind of have Gan gone to do his incredible puppet show and other stuff too.
Yes.
But it's
Shaft itself is working on other shows constantly. It's hard to divert staff.
Right.
At least, like, Studio Kara, the guys doing the rebuilds, at least they did Anime Expo, I believe, which is at least cool. Meanwhile, here we have Shaft doing Magireko.
Right.
I will say that in 2017, 2018, and also again in 2018, Gen Urobuchi seems to have been involved with something involving Godzilla. Maybe like an anime movie?
Oh.
But I have not seen.
So maybe he does
these,
just need to make Shin Godzilla, and then he'll get back to Madoka.
He just needs to go do some Godzilla.
Maybe he just needs to make a Shin Godzilla, and then he can calm down.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like he made a trilogy of Godzilla anime movies.
It actually, when we were talking about, the earlier on, I forget what we were talking about, but it did occur to me what this kind of reminds me of is, do you guys remember, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the rebuild for Evangelion movies.
Oh, I am.
I haven't seen them since they were in theaters.
Did you guys, okay, so you've seen them. Did you guys watch them, like, when they were coming out? Like, back when they were first announced and when they were first coming out?
Yeah.
not me. I watched them way later.
I also watched them way later.
Okay, okay, so the first one came out. The first one is just the first 6 episodes of Evangelion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
redone.
everybody
Okay.
complained about it at the time, like,
Oh no, I loved
okay,
it.
it's shiny.
I thought that
So
was
I love it.
yeah. Then Eva 2 came out, started to get a little bit different. I
Mhm.
still loved it. It was great. Then you get to the ending of Rebuild of Eva 2. The ending is fucking bonkers.
Yeah, yep.
It sure is.
And then we had to wait years for Eva 3. Meanwhile, there was a trailer that came out for Eva 3 that was in the style of the next episode things from the original anime.
Oh yeah!
That was narrated by
Oh.
Misato.
And don't worry, there'll be plenty of fan service too.
Yes. And it was like, I think it was like 30 seconds long, and it was like, next time on Eva, Shinji has started Third Impact, but then it got stopped. His dad searches far and wide for what to do next. Asuka comes back, and there's like all this, there's like 30
And she's
seconds
got
of
an eye
animation.
patch.
There's like 30 seconds of animation of what we were assuming was stuff that was going to be in the next movie. And like there's shots of Eva units we never get to see. There's shots of Kaoru standing in a mysterious building. There's a shot of Shinji's dad and the old man hiking at the top of a mountain with a donkey. This was basically a shitpost, essentially, and it was passed off as a trailer for the next movie. That's a little bit what I feel like this trailer might end up being.
I can see it.
Like, when this movie comes out, is any of the stuff in this trailer going to be in the movie? And then we just waited for like 15 years for this movie to come out. And
I would believe.
Surprise,
that
it's just a Madoka Beach episode.
Yeah, that's what Beach Mommy was preparing us for.
That's what the inner tubes were hinting at.
Oh my god!
That's
Oh
the
my
secret hidden
God.
key of the concept trailer.
Aaron, this is a breakthrough.
For anybody who hasn't seen Evangelion, just to complete that example, when the third Eva movie did come out, it was set 10 years after the second movie, and it had nothing to do with any of the stuff in that preview trailer. So just to fully explain what I'm talking about.
There was no
that's what
donkey.
Yeah, are you looking at it right now? There's a shot in that trailer.
I found a YouTube upload of this 30-second preview, and I very much look forward to, because I've seen 3.0 now, so I'm very much looking forward to once we finish recording.
There's a shot of
watching
Gendo
this.
and what's his name, the old man, and they're like hiking.
Fuyutsuki?
Yes,
Fuyutsuki, yes.
yes, and I distinctly remember this. I know it's in there.
That's
Where's
so
my
funny.
donkey? I want my donkey.
When you find
Come
it,
on.
please post a link to it with like the YouTube's timestamp in the link.
Ugh. See, at first it didn't register. It was like, wait, what donkey? I've never seen any trailer with a donkey. And then, wait, you're talking about 3.0,
Yeah.
which doesn't have a donkey.
No, it
Nope.
should have though.
Schrodinger's donkey.
That would have been awesome.
That is a good comparison, though. I can see your concern that this is just like a shit post they did for
Yeah,
the
like
anniversary.
they're not obligated to put any of the stuff in this trailer in anything they eventually make.
So no mommy. They're just gonna not
mean,
include her.
Well,
No
they're gonna
Gunbuster
include
Mommy.
her.
I mean, of course they will, right?
Yeah.
But what if she'll be the donkey and she won't be the main character? Damn.
What if this is all like a Bebe movie?
I would love it.
Yeah, I would love it
I
too,
would be
honestly.
extremely down for this.
Oh, I just found it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'm also sending it in the...
Oh, you found a screenshot of it. Yeah!
I
There it
took a
is.
screenshot of it just now.
There it is.
I included a time-stamped link in
Perfect.
in the
I love
chat.
that Gendo's glasses are shining in that
Whoa.
screenshot, even though it's bright as day out.
Yes.
Is that Kaji, but like old?
No, that's
It's
Gendo.
Fuyutsuki.
That's Shinji's dad, and then that's Fuyutsuki.
No, I'm talking about, okay, you sent the preview.
Oh, wait,
and-
the YouTube's thumbnail.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's him. He's just like yelling and like pointing a gun.
Yeah, wait, but he has a ponytail, so that's
Yeah.
Kaji.
Yeah, that's Kaji. Sorry,
Yeah.
we thought you were talking about the screenshot above it.
the screenshot is precious. Oh my god. It's like a Christian movie or something. Like an animated movie about, like, Prince of Egypt or something?
Yes.
What is wrong with Gendo's face?
He's having a good time hiking with his friend.
He's got, like, a cat smile.
He finally found something that gives his life a meaning.
Okay, guys, this episode is like 2 hours long. We need to...
Yeah, okay.
We need to wrap it up.
Okay.
I guess, do we want to cover anything in the fan speculation section, or I feel like we're past that now.
Maybe
I think we've looked at it.
Maybe we need to do like a part 2 with theories or something.
I feel like we already covered a bunch of our own
Yeah,
theories. There's not much more that we can
could
cover, I think.
That's true. Maybe we should just cover, like, there was one big one in here that I wanted to...
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we can end on this
one
fan theory that we like.
Let's end on this one thing, because I thought this was really interesting. In the wiki, it mentions that one fan theory is that Homura lied to Kyubey at the end of Rebellion and didn't create a new universe. She just used the stolen part of the Law of Cycles to make herself more powerful and expand her witch barrier to encompass the entire universe.
Oh, yeah!
However, this seemingly requires an insane amount of energy to maintain, and once the maze collapses, Madoka returned to being a cosmological principle, and Homura's efforts will be for naught. Knowing this, Homura aims to trick Mami into becoming the goddess of justice, effectively replacing Madoka's soul with Mami's, so that the former could remain in the world once the devil loses her grip on the universe. Whew.
Wait, what?
I do like that, and it would explain why Madoka is constantly melting.
Yeah. That would be extremely dope.
The goddess of... Wait, okay, so the first part seems plausible, like she expanded her barrier, right? And she got her energy from the power of love or whatever.
Yeah.
But where does the goddess come in? I don't understand.
Like in Rebellion.
Yeah. I think it's like the similarities between that pose that she does and Madoka's pose when she becomes a magical girl. And apparently there's... I forget where I read this, but there's like interviews where they say that Mami is supposed to kind of be like the god of war as opposed to the god of love and the god of hope. Does that make sense?
Or god of battle or something like that.
Yeah. So that's apparently a possibility, is that if Mami is going to also become a god, everyone's going to be a god. You get to be a god. You get to be a god.
Maybe they're using the word loosely. Like, I mean, isn't Kami like deity of a certain thing? And it's usually like it's bound to like a local area. Like you can have a Kami of a mountain.
Like in Shintoism, yes, but the word also just means like the general idea of like a god.
Yeah, it could be, but okay, this is making me think of a witch in her labyrinth, right? Because if we have a Kami of a mountain, we can have a witch who has a labyrinth, and it's like her domain. And since we started blurring the lines between magical girls and witches, like this kind of makes more sense as they're just using a fancy word for, you know, Mami becoming I don't know, another Law of Cycles thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
I see
possibly.
In the trivia section down here, I think I might see the quote that you were mentioning. Well, not the quote, but like the reference that you were mentioning about the god of battle.
Oh, is that where it is?
I think so. It says
somewhere.
in the second point in the trivia section says all original magical girls will appear in the project. Nagisa and Hitomi will have important roles. Mami is also singled out as important, as Mitsutoshi Kubota states, and the movie will apparently strengthen the image of Mami as a god of battle.
Oh.
I don't know where they're pulling this from, or where this quote from Kubota they're pulling this from is, but that's what it says there anyway.
Interesting. I do wonder what the source of that is. Considering the
citation needed, please.
Yeah, the translations on this wiki have not been proven to be terribly reliable to me personally, but does make me wonder.
I'm gonna look at the external links on this page and see if any of them say.
It might be some of those.
That is a real cool theory, but it might go a little too far.
I mean, I think it's definitely... It seems almost undeniable that Mami gets powered up in some way in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, I don't know if I want to say god levels, because when magical girls become gods, they get costume changes so they can sell figures, and she doesn't get a costume change. So we'll have to see about that.
They'll just have to make a glow-in-the-dark mommy figure.
She does glow a lot, so...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying, because Madoka glowed as the law of cycles when she started appearing all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And then Homer has glowing floating papers. I guess she glows as well as the devil, so mommy can be a third god in the picture. Okay, this is starting to make more sense. Okay.
Oh, I found the source of the quote.
Oh, you did?
Yes, in a Anime News Network article from December 2015, they say that there's an interview with Kubota in the January 2016 issue of New Type where he says some of this stuff. Here, I'll link it here.
He compares her to Guan Yu from Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Yes.
See, I feel like we probably won't do a part 2 for the concept trailer, because
I don't think there's quite enough to warrant a part 2, so this is just going to be a really long episode.
We could easily have so much more to talk about.
We could even split this episode into 2 episodes.
We probably could.
Dang.
Yeah.
Let us know if that ends up becoming necessary, Panda. You could also feel free to take the chopping block to any kind of crazy rambling that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Or me.
We'll see how it goes in the editing process and go from there.
Yeah.
Editing is hard. Good luck, okay?
Yeah.
But yes, this sure is wild, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah. So I'd love to see this eventually turn into something. Not feeling too great about it, considering it's been 5 years and nothing's happened, but, maybe someday.
I'm not out of hope, but I also feel like even if they were to start working on this, that it would probably look very different from what was made in 2015.
Mm-hmm. Just with the advancement of animation techniques.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, like, so much has happened in the past 5 years, just, like, on a global scale, that it doesn't feel like it would be possible for them to just, like, take the initial concept that was made into this trailer movie thing and go forth from what it is exactly.
Yeah.
It just feels like they would probably... I feel like it's very possible that the ideas of the Madoka team could have changed over the course of 5 years to be different from what they intended on in 2015.
Knowing Gen Urobuchi, is he even in the same headspace that he was?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he might. It might be a good thing that he took a break and he could come back with a fresh mindset and really mature as a writer, and maybe he can turn this thing into like a frigging masterpiece. I hope it will be. And when hope is not good enough, what Homer says, you gotta just love. Love solves all your problems.
Love is all you need.
It turns you into a god, apparently.
Yes.
She obviously named herself a devil because she's an edgelord. Like, come on.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I guess you can call me evil.
She was stuck in a time loop. She never got to live out her goth phase.
That's right. She was just stuck in it. She was stuck in her goth phase that whole time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
This is her actually like, going into her emo phase.
She was like, she was just 14 for all those cycles.
That's just what happens when you're 14.
Yeah. Can't really blame her. I wouldn't want to be 14 for all that time.
For like 20 years.
Yeah, however long she was stuck that way.
That'd be actually horrible.
Like, no wonder she cracked and became the devil.
Right?
Of course.
All right, well, I think we should go ahead and cut it short then, because...
Yeah.
Well, not cut it short, cut it long. Because we have gone quite long.
We'll cut it here, is what we're saying.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, Sammy.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
We could not have done that episode without you. That's
you did
for
very
sure.
well.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
If anyone would like to follow you on social media, if you wish to be followed, where might they be able to do so?
Okay. I'm bad at social media, but I'm making a Twitter account and dipping my toes into the Twitter.
You do not have to actually say anything for this segment.
Oh,
if you
I
don't
do want to though.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, I'll just post fan art on it. It's at Tsuki Jin, and you spell it as in Tsuki, like moon, Tsuki, and then Jin as in Djinn. So I'll be posting fan arts and stuff. You can contact me through there.
All right, cool. If you want to follow Madoka Magicast on social media, you can do so on your social media website of choice at Madoka Magicast. If we're on that website, that's where we'll be at. So we are on Twitter, we're on Tumblr, we're on Pillow Fort, we're on Facebook now. Put in Madoka Magicast. Oh, our SoundCloud is now Madoka Magicast also. It's no longer like our user - random number. I actually changed it to Madoka Magicast. So hopefully people were able to. I think that probably broke a lot of people's RSS feeds when I did that. That's why I waited so long. But it had to get done eventually, so I bit the bullet and did it. So that's where we are now. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you found us. Congratulations!
Yay!
If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so at Lambda, like the Greek letter power. That's Lambda Power. And if you're interested in my infrequent art postings, you can do so. You can follow my art account at Oddlasdo. Dozo. Whoever's next.
And again, my name is Aaron, also known as Aaron Cerise. You can find me on most major social media platforms except for Instagram because I have a weird phobia of Instagram. You can find me at ERYNCERISE on Twitter and especially on YouTube. I haven't plugged it in a while, so I guess you can actually watch a new installment of my Maho Profile, A History of Magical Girls series.
Yeah.
I just put out what is the first, what is now the first part of a mini series on the production of the Cutie Honey franchise.
Yeah, everybody go check out Aaron's YouTube channel because it is awesome.
Yes, and I also have my own podcast now. Yay!
Yay!
What? I didn't know this.
Yes, I started it this summer. It is a tabletop role playing podcast called Super Idols RPG. It's about teen idols with superpowers figuring out their emotions and shit.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Yes.
If you would like to find me, Panda, on the internet, you can check me out on twitter.com, the bad website, at mpantanata, or you could listen to my podcasts, Imagine Me and Utana, or The Fresh Podcast Market, or I don't plug this one a lot, but The Comics Podcast. And I also started work on a Gundam podcast.
Ooh.
From the brilliant mind of my Imagine Me and Utana co-host Alice and her fiance, and it is called Big Steppy, and I am extremely excited for people to start hearing it.
That's
because
great.
I love it very much, and it is very near and dear to my heart, even though I, going into editing it, did not know a single thing about Gundam. So definitely check those out.
That would be the first step.
Please tell Alice that that's the greatest name ever.
I will definitely pass along the message.
If you want anyone to come on that show to talk about being a 13-year-old girl into Gundam Wing Yaoi, please let me know.
I will do.
Okay. Thank you for listening, everybody. Please send us any questions or comments you may have. I don't know. Do you want us to talk about the concept trailer more? I mean, there is tons we could talk about. Do you have crazy theories? I don't know. Send us your thoughts.
It's really wild how densely packed these 4 minutes are.
Seriously, they are dense. Like, it's
we got 3 hours out of 3 minutes and 49 seconds.
I can read Romance of the Four Kingdoms for you, just for you.
Yeah, seriously.
All you have to do.
Let us know.
Just wait for the Madoka Magicast episode on Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Yeah, if we get enough feedback, maybe we'll do a concept trailer Q&A episode like we did with Rebellion. I don't know. We'll have to see. But thank you for listening, and I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good Thanksgiving, although this will definitely go up after Thanksgiving.
And happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. How about that?
And a happy New
Happy
Year.
July.
Happy
holidays.